Trust the guardians, trust the guides, trust the open and what's inside. When the moon is high, it's time to fly. Open your mind, let it all unwind. Let's get disenraged, time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. When you feel like you've had enough and the week was busy and tough, you need a break, you need some fun, you need to take time from the run. We'll blow your mind, we're just in time. Seek and ye shall find. Time to unwind, let's get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. Aliens, ghosts, spirits and shadows, spirituality, ultra reality, the Bible, the pagans, all the conspiracies, tarot, astrology, and alternate history. Open your heart to other possibilities and get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged, 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 disenraged.
Jennifer, I think I've actually done it. I think I've actually irreparably broken someone on the internet, and I think I went too far.
Okay, hold on. Before you say anything else, let me give you my surprise face.
I went too far.
No,
I crossed the line.
not you.
That
You
would
would
never
never.
happen. That would never happen. It would never
Never.
happen when I'm like poke, 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 poke. I think I
Never.
did it. I think I broke the Pisces on the other side of the internet. Because he's been having a meltdown about me for several days, including like on a live stream for several hours today, because I won and he lost because I broke him. I broke him. I didn't mean to.
Say
I didn't.
more.
I honestly thought that he okay.
I'm gonna need a large mug of my secret wine tonight.
Wait, what? Oh, wait. Is this someone? We've been made aware that our GW oh, you're the they them. Hey, they them. Wow, we got a they them on the channel. Yo, let me just take screenshots as they them. This is not gonna go the way you think this is gonna go.
Oh god.
They them. I promise you that this is not gonna go the way that you think this is gonna go. It's gonna be real fun for you though. You're they them. You're about to get a lesson in how the internet works and in how fair use works with content that you retards put on the internet. And yeah, I'm gonna call you that. Yeah, I am they them. I am. Hi, we've been made aware that our GW Pride forum that you put on the internet,
that anybody can see at any time.
That anyone can see at any time, was my last live stream. It was a very educational experience for the public to see what you idiots are teaching in private when you think people like us aren't listening to you. The folks featured in that talk did not consent to having their participation rebroadcast. I don't give a fuck, they, them. You put it on the internet. If you put content on YouTube, that is public. You don't get to decide who watches your content on YouTube, they, them. It's not the way it works. In this context, your stream puts them in unnecessary and politically unsafe or potentially unsafe position. That's your fucking problem.
No, I have a question.
Don't care. Hang on. Let me finish reading them. We can ask. I will take questions from the audience. Please delete the live stream. No. And refrain from restreaming our videos or participants without their consent. No. Declined. No. This is the internet, they, them, and you don't get to make demands. Public doesn't mean consent. Then you should have thought about that before you put it on YouTube. It actually does. You guys were the ones that put it on YouTube. That is not my fault. That is your fault. That is your thing to deal with. And if people don't like they, them, why aren't you proud of that forum? Why don't you want the public seeing it? Why don't you want people seeing what you talked about? If you don't want people seeing it, you shouldn't put it on the internet. Public doesn't mean consent to being repackaged and rebroadcast. That is called fair use, they, them. That is fair use. Please respect the people in the video and take it down. No. Declined. No, they, them. No. When you guys are trying to abolish all gender in the world, you don't get to tell me what to do. Jennifer, question, please.
I have two questions. I had one. Now I have two. First of all, do they not understand? Okay, so we are talking about like queer Marxist kind of type people, right?
Mm-hmm.
The queer Marxists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, these are epically queer. Yeah. So basically, George Washington University, in the School of Education, Jennifer, did a panel with these Jewish queer they, them, trans liberationists about trans joy and the creation of a trans utopia in the Graduate School of Education, where the teachers are being trained. And now they're upset that we watched it.
So, this almost sounds like they're claiming personal property.
Well, it does, but they believe in personal property. They don't believe in private property. Although you bring up a good point, because intellectual property is considered to be private property, which is capitalism, they, them. Don't think I don't know your ideology. You can't tell us not to. If we're fine with people watching the original. I don't care. This is fair use, they, them. It is fair use on the internet. You don't get to dictate how other people use it.
Unless you pay for copyright.
It's public and it may be fair use. Doesn't make the treatment respectful or consensual. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care if you feel respected. I don't care if you signed a fucking permission slip. I do not care, they, them. We are studying you. Let me lay this out for you really clear as you're interrupting my show about spirituality, by the way, which is extremely rude of you to do. You are interrupting a weekly show about spirituality to get all in your fifis about us watching your fucking presentations. We are fascists on this channel, they, them. We do not give a fuck about what you think about. Okay, Jennifer's not fascist. I fucking am. Are you serious with this? We do not care about respecting your fucking permission slip. We want to infringe your right to free speech. But as it is, you put it on YouTube. This is your issue to deal with. You can't do shit about it. And just because you came onto my channel to disrespect my spirituality show with your fucking feelings, I'm going to keep a real close eye on you, and we are going to watch every single thing you put on the internet for the foreseeable future. And we will have multiple people in the chat monitoring your ass just in case I don't see everything. I promise you, someone in my very large community will see what you're doing, and we will watch it on our channel just because we fucking can. And if you don't like it, don't put the content on the internet, they, them. It's really that simple.
Also, have they, them never seen a reaction video before?
Apparently not. Apparently
Because that is
people have
what
no idea how YouTube works.
This is how YouTube works. You put something up and someone can take that and it's like a retweet with a live reaction. That's exactly all this is. If you don't want people using it, you have to pay for the privilege of having it be completely yours, which is what like the History Channel does, Gaia does, freaking Coast to Coast does it. Sorry, I'm naming all these like super intellectual things that they probably don't.
But if Gaia puts videos on YouTube, we're allowed to react to them. It's just their paywall content, so it's not like this was behind a paywall or something. Right. It wasn't. If Gaia or the History Channel or any of these, as we've done before, because we've watched this content before, and there ain't shit that we still. Oh my god, I think that fascism has made its position sufficiently clear. Well, they, them. Don't think I'm not smart enough to know that you retards define anyone who's not a communist as a fascist. That's your definition. You define anyone who is not a revolutionary queer liberation communist as a fascist. So you can seethe and cope all you want. We'll leave it to you. Please leave queer people out of your content. No.
You don't know Karlyn at all, do you, sweet baby?
No. They, them. I'm writing an entire book about your little queer liberation subculture right now. Like, not only will I not leave queer people out of my content, we're going to do a whole lot. We've actually already done a fuck ton of content on you retards, and we're going to do a whole lot more content on you retards. Just so you're aware.
I really do appreciate how polite they are being, though. They weren't coming in guns a-blazing, and credit where credit is due.
See, you're being too nice to them. Are we playing good cop, bad cop? No, I'm the bad. I have to
be the bad cop. I am in a spiritual place, Karlyn. You want me to do a reading for you or not? I mean, I cannot.
Well, good point. Good. Like, what the fuck? Fucking up our spiritual. We have important psychicking to do right now. They, them. That has nothing to do with you. God. So
bless your sweetheart, honey. I know your path is hard.
See, now I have to like regain my fucking chi. I have to regain my fucking chi.
That's right.
You're like, Karlyn, remember you're on the internet right now. Yep. I'm like, I
with
know,
a high priestess.
Yo, look at this purse, Jennifer. It's pink. It's got stars on it.
Ooh, distraction. Yay.
God. Yeah. Okay. So back to the show. We have an important thing to psychic.
Oh, okay. I have a surprise for you.
Oh yeah?
You will be very, very happy. So I've been doing some reorganizing. Husband is away. I am single until Thursday.
Congratulations. Are you going to have like a wild party or something?
No, well, I mean, I do it how, oldish married women do parties, which is they organize things so their husbands can't find anything when they get home. But I've been
I love it when my husband hides my shit. That usually goes extremely well for him.
No, I'm not hiding. Organizing. There's a difference. So I've been organizing some things and redoing some stuff and cleaning and just getting things. But I've been having my second.
We're fucking trying, okay? We're trying. Relax.
Thank you. Amalek. Hi, baby.
I told him we were going to do a Book of Enoch episode. We need to do some psychicking around the Pisces though before we do that. So, we do. Settle down. So,
as I was going through things, and we've also been using things up, and so now we have a little more room. I'm able to shuffle things more categorically because I'm a Capricorn and I love categories. So I found.
You found cards?
I found my tarot deck.
You found some cards. Awesome.
I did.
Awesome.
I was like, oh, Karlyn's gonna love this. She's probably gonna need this Tuesday. I better keep them out because I almost put them away.
Did you have an intuition that I was gonna be like, Jennifer, we need emergency psychicking?
Yesterday,
that
yesterday I found them and I went, oh, I know right where I can put these. No, Karlyn's gonna need these. I'm okay. So I left them on my desk. I know stuff. It's a gift. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And I've already got a card that fell out.
Oh, what is it? Is it the devil, perchance?
It is the 6 of. Hold on, I need to get my oh my god! I swear to God, my poor eyes. I had really good vision. I need to get my LASIK redone. It is the 6 of staves.
of Wands.
Well,
Like
saves,
recognition, like the victory one.
Yeah, it is victorious. I find it a little like cautionary in terms of like, yeah, you might be wanting to celebrate, but there's something about this card that makes me feel like, but don't go crazy. I don't know. That could be the voices talking.
Listen, I feel as though I have actually been incredibly, incredibly restrained to actually a very absurd degree, because there is a part of me that knows I went too far. There is a part of me that I'm like, maybe Karlyn, maybe this wasn't your best moment of judgment or best decision making that you've ever done, because you really got inside someone's head who is a massive fucking control freak, and you pegged him so perfectly, and you planted the things you planted, and then they stewed and festered for 7 fucking months before they finally exploded. It was like, I truly, okay, so here's the thing. I truly didn't think that he was still stewing about this. I truly didn't. I truly thought that, okay, Karlyn, you tried to fuck around and maybe it was too obvious, or maybe he figured it out, or maybe like, and it was just like, it like, cause I haven't even spoken to Big Pisces for months and months and months. I've been ignoring him. I don't even know what he's really doing, other than I know people tell me that he's not really streaming anymore. I truly have not even been engaging in that side of the internet at all, to like an absurd degree, because I've had other shit going on, as it turns out. But like, okay, what happened is that, well, it started a while ago and I kept kind of amping it up. And after that asshole made AI porn of me, that
was a bridge too far.
Yeah,
that one was.
That was a bridge too far. And quite frankly, like I was, and we've talked about this, I was extremely pissed about that. Like that crossed a fucking line that like, I was just like really fucking pissed. So I was like, okay.
Well, and honestly, anything you do would never be that bad. So anything that you have done recently to piss him off, but in my opinion, is unwarranted, and he needs to check himself.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, no matter what I've done, and I can admit that perhaps I went too far and I doubled down when maybe I shouldn't have. I can admit that. But like, anything I did is nowhere near as cruel as what he's done to me. And by the way, the AI porn stuff isn't even the extent of the cruel shit that he's said and done to me. Like, I could release DMs of him being just such an epic asshole. It's like not even funny. And I haven't done that, and I wasn't going to do that, and I'm still not even going to go back now, because like this was a long ass time ago.
Yeah, better things to do than obsess over this guy. I mean, honestly, it was cute. And now move on. Yeah.
I just think it's like a little ridiculous, because anyone who watches my content knows I'm far more obsessed with other things than I am with him. Anyone you've been in my private Discord for fucking years. You hear the things I say to the people in my private Discord. Yep. Have I ever even fucking talked about him, except if he's doing some public bullshit about me? No. Have I ever done anything about that? Like, no, I haven't. People in my group chat didn't hear about him. I never tried to shit talk him to Amalek. I never tried to shit talk him to Adam Green. I just didn't do it because like I just didn't particularly care like all that much.
Mostly the community talks about him because it upsets them too.
Yeah.
And they're talking about it. You might mention it on a movie night occasionally to kind of bring us up to speed about things. I'm trying to find the right mood lighting. Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, if I'm talking about him, I'm reacting to someone else saying something or doing something. And I'm sorry, this is the internet. I react to the audience. I play and banter with the audience. That's part of my fucking shtick. Like, if someone brings him
everybody
up,
does.
Funny,
welcome
like,
to YouTube.
This is the fucking internet, sire. Yeah. Like, what do you want? Like, you know? And so, like, at the end of last year, after he did the whole AI porn thing about me, I basically, really kind of like turned it up and sent him messages that I was kind of trying to convince him that I was more into him than I actually was. I don't know how someone can think that after you make AI porn of them and put them on the internet that they could be oh so head over heels obsessed with you, but more so I was Jennifer, did you know that sometimes I play roles and I say things just to fuck with people? Are you shocked at this revelation?
Oh wait, what was my surprise face?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like I've been going undercover with the left for years, and every time I go undercover, I have to play a part and I have to pretend to be them, and I get into that character. I do that with other people on the internet too. And it's really not that hard. And so I sent him messages that made it sound like I was like, like whatever. And I was responding to something he did because, to be blunt, he messaged me and said, I am in love with you. And I said, fuck you. No, you're not. He said, yes, I am, blah, blah, blah. Now, I never actually thought that he was. I never, like, that's, and I want to be very clear about that.
You're equally trolling each other.
Yeah,
is what's happening
and that's the thing. That's the thing,
Yeah.
is like, I'm actually being more intellectually honest with him than I think he's going to be with me. I'm saying, I don't actually think this was true. I think he was trying to fuck with me.
Yes.
Well, guess what? When he tried to play that game to fuck with me, I was like, oh, you want to play? Oh, you want to play?
God. Okay.
Oh, you want to play? Oh, you want to play? So I sent him some voice messages, basically kind of laying out some psychological stuff. And some of it I was deadly serious about, and some of it I was not serious about, and I was kind of fucking around. But like, he sat on these messages for months and months and months and months and months. And keep in mind, I haven't talked to him in a fucking while. And all of a sudden on Friday, when I'm streaming with Adam Green and Amalek, he starts playing these messages as though they are like new information. And I was like, you got to be fucking shitting me. So he has been
on his channel
on this on his channel. Yeah. And I was like, and I was always prepared for the eventuality that he would release them. I kind of thought he would do it at the time, but like,
the delay was a surprise.
The delay was a surprise because I kind of thought, I was like, okay, he gets it, right? He gets it. Like, okay, Karlyn, nice try. Like, you gave it a good attempt. It just didn't work. Sometimes things I do don't work the way I think that they might. I never thought I was like planting a delayed release mechanism where all of a sudden I would have someone crying about me on the internet that I haven't talked to in months. So hang on, we got to do a W for Cynthia's back with the 5 channel memberships. W, Cynthia. And I want to give a big W to Kay Stern over on Rumble too with 5 channel memberships. Look at that. We've gotten, let me see, I got to do math. 111 channel memberships today, Jennifer. That's
angel number.
Angel numbers. Exactly. Angel numbers. How perfect for the spiritual show. So when was the last time I had you psychic him? Like a couple weeks ago, I said like it was when Master Shake encountered him in another chat. Yeah. And Master Shake asked him, like, is Algoth coming back or something like that? And then I found out about it because he sent me a screenshot in a group chat and like all this stuff. And I basically posted that on the internet. I was like, yeah, he's not doing shit about this. And I really didn't think he was going to. I was like, he like basically Big Pisces responded like, it's not time yet, or some fucking Pisces thing. Or
I remember
Pisces
that.
Taurus. Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. And so I said to you on the show, I was like, Jennifer, is he actually going to do something? And I don't remember your exact response, but like it was something to the effect of, if you guys keep needling him like with these comments on the internet, like it's piling up and it's going to go at some point. And I honestly didn't think. Yeah,
I honestly snap if you pile up on him.
But you know what happened is, and you can remember, like, people can go back and watch me say this. I said, okay, let's keep that in mind. Let's put this on the boredom shelf. Okay. I literally tabled the concept. I literally was saying, okay, guys, you know, maybe it's fun to pick at Big Pisces, you know, here and there, whatever. But can we just like put it over here for right now? Can we just like put it to the side and not do that right now? I literally fucking tabled it. So I didn't think that it had already built up to a point of, but apparently I was wrong.
Well, this is how Pisces work. They're very unpredictable. They say something doesn't matter, but it does. And then all they need is the right stimulus, and they just go, bleh.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. So I have so many questions, and your accuracy with him previously has been pretty unparalleled, if I'm being honest about it. Because this isn't even the first time you've got him right. You psychic something else like months and months and months ago that turned out to it was around. No, it was the AI porn shit. This was a long ass fucking time. This was like last year sometime.
Yeah, last summer. Last fall,
yeah,
I think.
When he and I were bantering back and forth in actually like a productive and kind of fun and lighthearted way, which was a nice change for once. And you
were
said
asking about the shoes going to drop, and I said,
yeah,
there something about, because sometimes I trance out and I don't remember, but I do remember saying something to the effect of, one of you is going to go too far.
Yeah.
And I at that time I couldn't tell who I was tending towards him, but I knew that was biased, because I'd like to think you wouldn't do it, but I also know you would. So I was like,
would never.
I never
would never do that.
Nah. So I just left him like, one of you is going to take it too far, and it's going to really hurt the other one, and then both will pull back and go, oh God, that was too far. And then there will be an uncomfortable silence, like a truce. Yeah. Like a frenemies. And that's
we never quite got to frenemies.
Frenemies actually happened. It was opposite. It happened before he did the porn thing, the AI porn bullshit.
And the porn thing was the thing that went too far. And then I fucked with him, and I did what I did. And then I just kind of gave up on it. I gave up on it at like basically the end of last year. I was like, okay, well, this is fun, but like, we're moving on with life now, and I have a lot of shit I wanted to do, and so I was like, this is like, if I keep fucking around, this is going to be a constant distraction to the things that are actually important to me and the things I actually want to do. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. I felt like it was a very adult decision. I was like, he can stew on the other side of the internet all he fucking wants. I don't actually even care anymore.
Yep.
Well, on Friday, he decides he wants to start releasing these messages as though there's something new. On Saturday, he was melting down all fucking day in my DMs. And I was, Jennifer, I was trying to be so nice. I was like, you need to fucking relax. On Sunday, he was melting down all fucking day in my DMs. And I even said to him at one point, I was like, listen, I hear that you think that I'm obsessed with you, even though I haven't spoken to you in months and months and months. But I'm willing to tell you, like, I'm willing to have a conversation about what I did that was true and what I did that was not true to help you figure out fucking reality.
And if he, of all people, should recognize a decent troll when he sees one. Unless he's really delulu.
Like, what I think that is really going on is he's pissed off that I won and he lost, and I am now the queen mindfuckus of the internet. I don't even know if that's a real word. The queen of mindfuckery on the internet. He thought it was him. No, it wasn't him. It was actually me, the actual fucking psychologist. And and it's like, I don't know, like I really, and I meant this. I was like, as he's just like melting down in my DMs, like, you know, you're obsessed with me, you're thirsty for me, you're begging me. And I was just like, can we just let this go and move on? And just like, can we stop fighting to stop making things tense for like every other fucking person around us ever? Yeah. Because we're in similar groups online, not like all the time, but like there are places that I am with people he is friends with, and then when both of us show up in the same place, it's like instant tension and nonsense for everyone, and then he starts sulking like a child, like all this fucking stuff, and I'm like, can we just stop? I'm shocked at this revelation that Big Pisces is watching right now, since he's been streaming about me for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, apparently. But I really was like, can we just, like, I've moved on, bro. I mean, like, can we just stop? And he's like, you're begging me. You're thirsty for me. You're obsessed with me. And he's like, and he gave me a 4-point demand list. And the 4-point demand list was, fuck off, accept everything I'm saying is true, stop saying negative shit about me that I don't like on the internet, and fuck off again. And so I said, I haven't spoken to you in like 7 months. No, I'm not going to accept what you're saying is true. No, I will say whatever the fuck I want on my fucking show. And then I was just like, fine. Like, you don't want to talk to me? Then fine. I just don't really give a fuck anymore. And so he presented his demand list, just like when that they, them just came into the chat and said, can you please remove our video? I said, no, that's not actually going
No,
to happen.
you would say no. You said, I will fucking not. I won't You weren't like, no, I won't do that. That's sweet though. No. That
like, no, honey. No, it's very nice. It's a very nice request. That's about like, bless your heart, young one, bless your heart, young they, them. Yep. Cynthia loves the drama. Cynthia's coming around for the drama. Thank you, Cynthia. No, we are not allowing Big Tech to call it. No, we are psychicking him so he can see. Yeah, because the thing is, 2 days ago, Big Tech told me to fuck off. He doesn't want to talk to me ever again. He doesn't want to hear from me ever again. And now, all of a sudden, Jennifer, right before the show, Big Tech is in my DMs again. Do you want to have an internet discussion with me? Do you want to have a moderated
only
debate
if I can
me?
be the mediator.
And I'm like, no, I actually don't want to have a moderated debate with you. A, because I have a show at 9 p.m. B, because no. Like you told me to fuck off and that you never wanted to hear from me again on Sunday, motherfucker. And now all of a sudden we're talking about having a moderated discussion about whether or not I was fucking with you. No. Jennifer, I announced, I did a whole fucking stream talking about how I was going to Chinese water torture him. And no one took me seriously, apparently. I said I was going to do it. I then did it because God knows, Jennifer, I've never been known, if I have the will to achieve something, I've never been known to just drag that out over an extended period of time until I achieve my goal. That's never happened. Not like I lost 70 pounds in 6 fucking months by giving up carbs and sugar cold turkey. Not like that's never happened. Not like I have built a social media empire by being the master queen analyzer of the far left on the fucking internet over the course of years and years and years. Not like I've done that shit. No, I would never execute a prolonged plan to achieve a goal that I had. That's completely fucking unbelievable. CB, bro. But we're getting channel memberships today. I thought like DISENRAGE is usually a much less exciting show than this. W's, bro. Thank you so much for supporting the stream.
So, shall we?
So I have fucking questions.
What
I have
are the questions? And I need to do. I've been shuffling just to kind of regroup my cards, but I'm gonna officially shuffle now. So I want you to concentrate.
Okay, I'm concentrating very much on the Pisces.
I want you to give your guides permission.
Hang on, I'm gonna. What's that? What did you say?
No, do what you need to do.
No, what were you just gonna say?
I was going into my. First of all, I have a question. Are we being restreamed right now?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's restreaming us. Yeah.
Hey,
I think I haven't looked, but someone said that he was. So.
All right, cool. I am friend. I don't think you're a villain, just so you know that, Big D, because that's what I've been saying. You're a dick, but you're not a villain. And Karlyn's a bitch, but she's not a villain either. So I can say that because she's my friend. Okay, so I want you to please recenter. By giving your guides permission to speak with me.
Yes, I will give my guides permission to speak with you, Jennifer.
Okay, and I want you to, as I'm shuffling here, sorry, I still have a couple of numb fingers on this hand that are still working out their crap, so the shuffling is a little awkward for me, but just tell me when to stop. Whenever you kind of feel it, give it a few deep breaths. Think about letting the energy, letting center into your heart chakra, please. That's nice. That's good. I feel a nice connection. Very cool. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm opening my heart chakra just for you, Jennifer.
I know I already live there. You ready? Okay. All right, I have limited space. Sorry, my camera. I have limited space. I have like a very limited space. So I am trying to move some things out of the way to give myself maximum card room. I should have done this earlier. I'll just very carefully scoot that there.
If Big Tech really wants to talk to me, he can do it on my schedule. Back in the heart chakra. I'm visualizing grief. I'm looking at a purple Gucci bag on Whatnot right now. I'm opening the heart chakra to the purple Gucci bag.
You want this to work or what?
Yes.
Okay. You mean that?
Yes.
Close the Gucci bag.
God damn it! Fine, I'm closing. This is how seriously I'm taking the show. I just closed Whatnot, okay?
Oh my God. The spirits thank you.
The spirit should understand.
Spirit is like, look, if you really care, we're coming through the ether to speak to you. Please give us your full attention.
Okay, I'm giving you my full attention. Okay.
Ask your question.
What happened to trigger this little meltdown on Friday?
Okay, so he thought he could turn his back on it, and he's been turning his back on it, but it's been needling and niggling away in his mind. And he's been like thinking about the perfect response. How can I bring this back up to cause maximum damage?
Why is he? Oh, go ahead.
And also, I think he's actually been weighing consequences. Like, do I really need to spend time on this? And I think it was one of those opportunities where it's like, you know what? I can bring this up. I've got nothing better to do today. And so it kind of felt like the thing that's been nagging at him that he's been trying to turn his back on, he finally just went, nope, I'm talking about it. Today's the day. I got time.
Why is he like, what is he trying to achieve with all this?
Jesus, don't jump out at me, cards. Okay. What is he trying to achieve with all? Okay, so are we feeling like we're done with those?
Yeah. I think that's pretty dead on.
Okay. I had like 3 cards try to leap out all at once. Okay, now the question is, what is he trying to achieve?
Yeah, what is he trying to achieve?
I get a big sense of purposelessness. Like, there's no ultimate goal to any of this. It's not like it's just something to do. It's drama. It adds to his brand. It adds to the ability, because his brand is a lot about, and I'm really sorry, sir, but I have only seen certain moments from your streams. So all I see is lots of shit talking, and it fires up the audience. The audience shit talks, and it just mounts and mounts and mounts and gets worse and worse and worse. And that seems to be part of the shtick. If you do other things that are more worthy, I am not aware. But it does seem like
he does not do other things that are more worthy. He used to do other things that were more worthy. He does not do them anymore. Okay, to the best of my knowledge.
All right. Well, I do not know. So all I'm seeing is this is part of that part of his personality, and that it's more of a, there is no ultimate goal. That's the word I'm looking for, guys. Oof. A lot of inverted cards. I'm getting very positive cards that are coming up inverted, and it's irritating me. There is something emotionally fulfilling about being a bully, and the problem is he cannot recognize a truth inside him that he loves to push people around. There's a massive insecurity in play that has been there his whole life. And instead of working on that and doing something productive and overcoming that and becoming the truly strong and really amazing person I think he actually is inside, he's allowing his baser self and that baser nature to override. And this is a beautiful avenue for him to express himself. Like, you are the canvas on which he can paint, basically. So there's a massive emotional fulfillment, and it is in the negativity zone. It's like, if I can't get good attention, I will get bad attention. It's that kind of thing. And I just feel like he's acting out to act out. And now he's buying his own thing. Like, now he feels like it is a need inside of him to continue this form of negativity, and not just with you. Like, I feel like
I don't think it's just with me at all.
Yeah. I feel like I'm talking to his guys might be kind of chiming in like, he does this to a lot of people. And I feel like it's as much as it brings him a lot of attention from the bros on his page, I feel like it's very emptying out. At the end of the day, he's very empty and lonely. And I feel like a lot of heartache, and I feel like a clenching kind of like that, like the frustration and clenching. But then to get rid of that, he can go be louder and meaner and more bullying. And that just, So that's all I'm feeling here. As far as you are concerned, you're his ultimate adversary in a way that you're easy pickings, because you push back and he loves that.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys the duel, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. What's next?
Almost like you didn't really want me to fuck off, did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's enjoying the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see those cards, or are you good?
I'm good. I think that your reading makes it. Your reading is like ringing true to me. So I mean that makes it. I honestly find the whole thing very sad. I really, really do. And I've said this a million times about him. There is a beautiful, highly spiritualized person in there somewhere that he has decided to ground himself to the most base toxic energy that he can for some reason, and it's burying what could be a brilliant fucking teacher. Because like I remember like monologues he did years ago. It was fucking brilliant teaching, and it's just too bad that he couldn't get attention doing that, which would have been much more helpful, which would have served people a lot better
for him too.
Yeah. I just think the whole thing's very sad. And that's like honestly what I've been like okay, I feel a little bit bad that I may have gone too far, but like I also actually do feel like legitimately sad about the situation, in that there's a person that could be of such service to so many people, and this is what he's choosing to do. This is it. It's just like, it's like, okay, like I guess, bro, like whatever, it's your life, do what you want, but like I think it's sad. I think it's sad, and I think
he can do better. He can do better. Unfortunately, his brand is really strong, and I mean, it is what it is.
Well, but you can always change your brand. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want. But like the other thing too is like I am under no illusion that I'm the only person he's ever done this to. I think he's done this many, many times before, probably mostly to women because he hates women. And I think he'll do it to many, many, many more until he learns whatever lesson he's. Let's ask that. What is this? Because I am fully convinced that we're basically working out past life issues with each other. I'm completely convinced of that.
Hold on to that question. I just gotta. He doesn't hate women, but they remind him of his inadequacies, and so he resents them.
Mm-hmm.
He's perfectly capable of being a nurturing, wonderful partner, but he doesn't recognize that, so he pushes them away, and then I hate that because I don't think I can have it, kind of a thing. Even though I'm sure he gets lots of pussy or whatever the fuck, but I mean, it's not in a fulfilling way, and I feel like there's just so many walls in him, and it makes me sad because he really does feel injured.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure
that makes a lot of sense based on something that I psychicked about him a long ass time ago, but I'm not going to say it because unlike him, I do have some sense of propriety. Anyway, so what the fuck is this? Is this like a past life, like working out issue? Like what the fuck is going on with him and I?
For you and him, past life. Ongoing voyage with challenges, ongoing tower reversed.
Oh, yo.
And okay. Until an equilibrium is struck. There is no equilibrium. You guys are teaching each other about balance and when to pull back and when to just be in balance away from each other. There's a balance that needs to be struck that is not there. And it's like one of you takes from the other one takes from the other, and you push, and then you pull, and then you push, and then you pull. And one always feels like it's like a game of gotcha last. Do you remember gotcha last?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like gotcha last, and then the next person has to go back to gotcha last. And it's just back and forth and back and forth and back until you don't remember who started it. But you always have to get that person back, no matter what.
Well, you know what's so funny about that is because one of the messages I sent him was basically I had AI do an analysis of like our astrological charts because I have his astrological chart. And so I had AI do this analysis of it, and it essentially said that exact thing. And I actually sent him a message.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like almost like verbatim what you just said. Like, I mean, I said it a little bit differently, but like I should go back and find that analysis somewhere because literally the analysis that it gave me was he and I are constantly in a push-pull with each other. I'm pushing, he's pulling, he's pushing, I'm pulling, like, and that's just like, that is just the dynamic of our charts, and it just is what it is. And I'm like, so the fact that you actually got that from the cards, it's like, that's actually eerie, honestly.
It just reminds me of like siblings that just hate each other, that just are constantly arguing, is how it feels like sibling energy to me. So
maybe we've been siblings in a previous life. Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, you might be spirit family, and such a thing does exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I asked if you were spirit family. I got the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, yo.
That was a yes, no, yes. That, like, if I ask a yes, no question, I get a positive card. That fucking strong.
The Wheel of Fortune of all things.
Yeah. So you guys have a spiritual relationship. Like, you are a spirit family in some way, shape, or form. You might be, it might be like a literal, well, I don't want to get too weird, but
get weird. It's fine.
Get weird.
We're psychicking this on the internet, Jennifer. It's a little weird already, isn't it?
There's various theories about spirit family. Like, true spirit family is either, it can be a twin flame situation where
no. Go ahead though. No, that's not what it is. No. Not fucking twin flames. No. What's the other alternative? What's that?
Queen of Swords. Sorry, my little O-ring thing, my O-light thing.
You know what I love about the Queen of Swords? I fucking love the Queen of Swords in the Toth deck. I have to find it. The Queen of Swords is so fucking apropos for this situation with him. Oh god, I'm gonna have to go through the entire fucking deck to make my point. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh no, it's right here. It's right here. I love the Queen of Swords in the Toth deck because it's a badass bitch with her tits out that's literally holding the head of a man that she's just cut off.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyway, victorious. So I would think you're the older sibling in this situation. True. And he's like the annoying little brother. And so that is the energy that's happening right now. So anyway, the theories are that in a twin flame situation, and you guys understand, twin flames doesn't mean you're meant for each other.
It doesn't mean romantic partners. No. It can mean any number of things.
It does. And a lot of people got hopped up on twin flame is your soulmate, and that's not what it is at all.
It's not what it is.
Having literally a twin in the womb of the universe that is just the polar opposite of you. It's literally the yin yang. And often these people come together and mistake it for sexual energy. Sometimes it is, because we incarnate in human bodies that are very sexually oriented. So it can be, but oftentimes twin flame energy is so strong that it's more like an attraction, and then the magnet flips and you're like, ugh, repelling. Attraction, ugh, repelling. And it's this push-pull that happens frequent. My twin flame and I were exactly like that. Came together and went nope, and came together and went nope. And it was, but for us, it was romantic. But for a lot of people, it can be a friendship. It can't even be a family member. It is not necessarily romantic. The soulmate situation is different. The other situation, familially, is that souls over the millennia, and we've been around for a while, tend to create friendships just like we do here on Earth physically, as above, so below. So sometimes the soul groups choose to start
incarnate together, and we do things together. And the people that you encounter when you're in like these types of situations, you're all fucking friends on the other side. That you're like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we went to Earth and we did this thing together?
Yep. We could cause so much. My mom and I are definitely soul family. And because I believe we have had many incarnations where we have literally chosen to incarnate as family, where we've been siblings, we've been parental figures for each other, maybe aunts or uncles, nieces, nephews, but we have been related to each other in some way, shape, or form for probably a couple thousand years. Like, this is our jam. And I feel, and not just me, but like, we've been told that by every single person who's like, oh my God, how long have you two been together? We're like 2,000 years, you know, so, or however long. And it's a joke. But I mean, you do that with your family, you do that with your close friend group. And sometimes you don't always all incarnate together, but you go back there and you freaking party and talk about the life, you know. Sometimes you come down at different times and you swap information when you go back, you know, and sometimes it literally is you hived. There's in the light, at least I can speak for the light being births. The light, when the light workers are born, we're hatched in waves. Like several of us will spawn at one time. And a lot of us will stick together in our spawning group, and that becomes our soul family. And that's been happening for millennia. So, and if you guys ever are interested, look up like why so many light workers were incarnated in the 70s.
We got another membership. Oh, sorry, we got another one. WCB. Thanks so much for the membership. Appreciate it. Yeah, the 70s, like the Indigo children or like whatever.
Well, it was just a lot. No, those are a little bit different, but the a lot of light workers came through Gen X, and just tons came through the 70s, and it was a big spawning. So you have to look through. And well, I mean, we weren't spawned then; we were spawned way before, but we all decided to incarnate during that because the world was about to go through a lot of stuff that would need the way we rationalize and look at things and our healing energy. X-gens are very comforting, you guys. If you need a shoulder, go to an X-gen, let me tell you. So,
generation. So, I mean, is this going to continue?
Do I even need to look at the cards to answer?
Like,
yes.
Well,
let me see.
So much for him wanting for me to fuck off, huh? So much for that. That lasted really a whole day and a half.
If either of you really wanted that, you guys would start ignoring each other and stop interacting.
I was ignoring him. I was
communities. And get a hold of your people.
I can't control people on the fucking internet.
Just saying, you can at least put the word out. Leave them alone. I'm done.
No one has been bothering him. Like, I'm sorry. No one has been fucking bothering him. If people say shit on the internet, they say shit on the internet. He's got to get a fucking grip on. Okay, let me ask you this.
That's right. You can't control anybody.
Does he actually believe I'm obsessed with him? Or is this just something like a shit? No, he doesn't. No, you fuck you. Like, obviously.
No, this is all part of the game. You guys have been playing chess together for 1,000 years. Is just not literally, but that's kind of how it feels.
Oh,
yeah.
See, my actual little brother and I don't talk, and now I have a fucking little brother on the internet. This is what I always said about the Groypers too. The Groypers are like an army of little fucking brothers. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just reading Reagan, Jennifer.
Yeah, Reagan's like, Karlyn, shut the fuck up.
Aww.
What?
You're not going to like this.
What?
Because I was asking what would it take for this to stop. And it was friendship.
I've been trying to level things out for like literally years at this point, I feel like. What's that?
Ten of Pentacles.
Oh, the 10 of Pentacles. You know what? That's funny because I was pulling cards on him the other day as all this was going on. And there were two cards that came up over and over and over again. One was the Devil and one was the 10 of Pentacles.
He's a devil. He's a trickster. He's got massive trickster energy. And he delights in it. And that's part of who he is. And it's kind of like, you got to accept him for who he is. He's a trickster. He's a little crazy. He's unfortunately in a lot of pain. Bless his heart. But it is what he is.
Bless his heart.
And this, to me, and I do intuitive. So to me, this looks like a partnership and a friendship. And we're just going to let the past be the past. And we're going to move on. And we're going to encourage and help each other instead of being a couple of dicks to each other.
Yeah, you know what the 10 of Pentacles also means? It means longevity of a relationship, whether you like it or not.
Well, that works too. That seems to work. That's yep. Mm-hmm. And it is, and it has been, and that's what we're talking about. You guys have a lot of stuff.
Well, what's funny about this is I was looking back through some of our DMs earlier today. I was trying to find the screenshot where he said he was in love with me, and in looking for that screenshot, I saw some other stuff, and it was like there was actually a period, like when I was mentioned on Joe Rogan, and then when I went to Portland and I hung out with Duncan Trussell, like there was actually a period where he and I were getting along because like people might we were messaging back and forth and everything was fine for a little while and no one was being a dick to the other. And I actually like shut off the fuckery that I was doing up until that point. And then he made AI porn of me and I turned the fuckery right back up. But like, there have been times when it's actually just fucking level. That little fucking back and forth that we did last year when the last time you psychicked him, like before, that was actually fun, playful banter. That was just like an interesting exchange on the internet. It was a fun arc on the internet. Everyone is having a good time with it, and then he has to go and ruin it and make it negative and toxic.
You went a step too far. Well, and then you turned around and went a step too far, and now you've both gone a step too far, and I think you both should apologize to each other at the same time.
I have apologized. I've apologized.
Well, he owes you an apology.
Yeah, you owe me an apology, actually, asshole. I've apologized, Jennifer. I have apologized so many times just to end it and just to be like, can we all just settle down and just like exist on the internet together? And he won't do it. He won't apologize to me, even though he was wrong.
I think he has a really hard time with being wrong, and he knows he's wrong.
I know he knows he's wrong. I've psychicked that man. I know he knows he's wrong, and he won't admit it. You want to know why? He has a Taurus moon.
Oh, balls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pisces sun, Taurus moon.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
I know.
Oh my God, with a Pisces sun and a Taurus moon, that's a lot of emotional stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what his rising is. I'd be very, very curious.
I think it's an Aries. I think I'm not positive about this. I think it's Aries, but I'm not 100%.
I would go Aries or either Aries, Scorpio, or Leo would be my guesses on his rising.
I think it's Aries. In the chart I have for him, I have it set as Aries. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. That would make sense.
So where is all this going? What is going to happen next? What do I need to anticipate from the child over on Kick? And I feel like I can say that now because if I'm the bigger sister, he's a child.
You're both children. So what shall you anticipate from him?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to read him too much. I feel like I've kind of encroached enough on his energy. So, and then, you know,
see, I don't think we've encroached enough. I think we can actually do better. In fact, I should pull out my fucking tarot cards.
What shall we anticipate? Okay, so what's the next step here in this little journey of the relationship? Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, he's laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah, obviously, because he's enjoying every second of this. Because he's been desperate to interact with me for months.
Yeah, he's probably making so much fun of me, which I expect, and I'm just gonna I'm energetically neutralizing myself because I feel a lot of malice coming my way, and I don't appreciate it. But I also I feel two different things. I feel malice, and I feel a little bit of appreciation as well. But also,
you're being nicer to him than he deserves, if I'm being honest about it. But
that's because I look at things through the spiritual veil. I'm not looking at this plain human. To me, everybody is going through this life and walking this incarnation the best they fucking know how. We all make mistakes. We all fuck up. Sometimes we lean to the dark side. Sometimes we lean to the light. But, you know, I do my very, very best to be very neutral with people. And that's also why I allow myself to get pushed so far until I finally go, no, it's enough. You know, and I finally snap. I try to be very patient with people, but to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because being a human is not fucking easy. So yeah, he's got a big kind of happy, hilarious virtual heart-on about this whole thing that's happening right now, which
I'm sure he's got a heart-on about this whole thing that's happening right now. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. To expect in the future. Certainly nothing is going to settle down immediately.
Oh, good.
I'm seeing some strife, but I am seeing like it's not gonna be that loud. Clarity, please. He's going to double down a little bit until his own illusions don't work anymore.
No shit.
That is what I heard. That is what I'm seeing. I'm getting a lot of inverse cards, and what's really strange is usually when I get a majority of inverse cards, I will flip them because it makes me insane. But I feel like this is what I need to see, and I'm allowing it, and I'm trying to let that, because I feel like there's a little bit of guarding going on his side, which is appropriate and fine, and I don't want to encroach on that spiritually because that reflects upon my own energy, my karma, and my protection. So I'm trying to be respectful. So
I'll encroach on it later when I'm not on the internet anymore. Don't you worry, Pisces. I'll encroach on that shit all I fucking want.
Anyway, so what I'm getting though is like, I'm not going to give you the direct answer, but I'll give you the workaround answer. And that's why I'm getting a lot of inverse cards. And also because he sees himself through a filter of a lot of positivity, but the truth is not that. So I'm getting the positive, the filter of the positivity with the negative coming through, if that makes sense.
Can you talk to his guides?
Maybe.
Can you ask
the ones who are talking to mine?
Can you ask them what they think of all this?
I'm getting a little block. I feel like I got a kind of a plead the fifth energy, and they were kind of like,
they're like, we're not getting involved in this shit.
Well, they are. They're like, we're giving you what we can give you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because understand, I do not talk to people's guides or talk to their spirit without their permission, and I haven't gotten his permission, so I'm not going to go, hey, talk to me. I'm just nosy. Can you tell me what's going on with your guy? I'm not going to do that.
Can you talk to my guides and ask them what they think of all this? I give you permission. Because I'm not a massive pussy like you.
Okay, these are all in verse. Okay, hold on. What do they think about all of this? We are highly amused.
Good guides. I've got the best fucking guides.
First of all, they feel like you're getting a lot of emotional fulfillment from this. Like there's something about this dynamic is working for you, and they just think it's hysterical. It's a real like, they're like, we know it's purposeless, but we
know it's purposeless.
Yeah. The purposefulness is in the purposeless. It's like when you sit and do something like a useless hobby. You make something with your hands. You just do it while you're watching your TV or your movies, and you're never going to sell it. Like knitting. You're just doing. You're never going to sell it. You just enjoy doing it. This is the energy I'm feeling. They're like, it's also a way. Oh, clarity, please. Oh. This is a way, they said, this is a way we have taught Karlyn to stoke her fire, to raise her voice, to stand up for herself, to define her boundaries. This is how we have shown her that when things are going wrong and you feel like it's wrong, you need to stand up and say it's wrong right now. This has been a training ground. This relationship has been a training ground for Karlyn so that she can say the things that need to be said in the moment that they need to be said, and nobody is going to stand in her way once she can define how she says things. Okay, stand back, please. That was a lot.
I kind of feel like I'm totally winning in this scenario. I feel like I am learning the lessons that I should be learning. And I feel like this is all working out for me beautifully. And the guides have just confirmed everything that I already thought.
There is a cautionary part to this.
Oh, no.
The cautionary part is calm the fuck down. It is...
Maybe ratchet it down a notch now.
You understand he is learning the same lesson.
Mm-hmm.
He is learning the same lesson.
Mm-hmm. What is that? Okay. The moon?
It's the moon.
Oh,
but if you look at intuitively, you're seeing two equal partners with the same piece of territory they need to protect, with the same message that they want to give. And they are barking at each other, but they're also barking into let's call the moon the internet. And it's like, are you going to be friends or are you going to fuck each other around? Like, how are you stronger? This is why I like doing intuitive reading, because I feel like I can talk to you more directly than telling you, well, this means that, therefore this.
I already know what the tarot cards mean. I don't need a tarot
for those
interpreter.
For everybody watching. So if you don't understand, well, that's not what the moon exactly means. I know. I do things a little differently and it works. So I feel, so this is he is also learning the same lesson. He's doing the same thing as you. He is learning how to express his outrage and his upset in the moment. He has not mastered it yet. He has not mastered it as well as you have. He needs a little more time. And honestly, if he allied with you, he would learn it much, much faster and be fulfilled. a lot more, but he has already worked too hard to make you his enemy. And unless he can relax and just flip over, like say, I would say turn a new card or turn a new leaf and let the past be the past. Give me the advice, please. The mini gifts, the mini gifts. What does that mean? Realizing the internal potential that he has is what they're really wanting him to do. But he has chosen an easy path, which is that of attention and getting money, because that attention brings money to him. And that has been the easy path. And it has not lent to the help that to his character or to his lesson. And instead of saying when he thinks things are right or wrong, he's learning how to be mouthy and how to be vocal and how to be precise. He's got a lovely, he really is very eloquent. I mean, very,
yes, he is,
eloquent.
Yeah.
He's really a good speaker. And instead of being able to learn that for good, he went the easy, quick route and was like, I make money. Ooh, being inflammatory makes me money. Let me go do that more. So he's got half the lesson. He hasn't got the whole lesson. And his guides are like, yes, yes, yes. I'm hearing yes, yes. They're not going to give me any more, but I'm hearing from your guides. They're meant to work together. They're meant to work together. And this is how you're doing it. Because this is how you're doing it right now. Maybe it'll look different later, but right now, this is how you're doing it.
So it kind of seems to me that like every bit of my analysis on this situation, even the messages I sent fucking with you, where I basically said exactly this, seems like I'm actually accurate and that my psychicking abilities are honed and everything I've said is accurate and I'm winning and you're losing and I'm further ahead and you haven't learned the lessons yet and we should just settle
Stop, you're not helping.
And we should just settle the fuck down.
The fact that, first of all, you're poking the bear. And
I know,
if you really
it's so fun. I can't help myself.
I know you think it's hilarious, but if you really want to help your little brother, quit being a dick to him.
I don't know if I want to help him yet. Maybe he needs to struggle a little bit more and experience a little bit more pain before he smartens the fuck up.
Well, that'll be up to your relationship. That's up to your karma. That's up to the universe. That's up to everybody here involved. And if you guys want to keep drawing out the discomfort, that is all up to you. That is in your court.
I have been trying, okay, for real though, I have been trying to end this for like ever. I haven't even talked to him in a long ass time. And so I am perfectly fine ending it and just being a little bit more chill now that I know that everything that I said from the beginning was true. It's up to him. I can't control him. And
so
honestly,
long as you get
like,
to be right.
whatever.
Well, he's not wrong in some of his responses too, because you've pushed him too. So I mean,
I did.
Both of you have been wrong and right here.
For that. But I take responsibility for that. I went too far. I poked a little bit too much. I got way too in his head. I know things about him that I should not know because I was psychicking irresponsibly. And I know all that. And I take responsibility. And I was not 100% correct in the scenario, and I can admit that. And I've already apologized to you.
Let's say it again. And I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry about...
I know it's hard, baby. I know.
Ooh. I'm sorry about that.
I want an apology with a large fry and a chocolate shake.
I wish I could have a chocolate shake. I have a fry and gained 10 fucking pounds back. I'm sorry, asshole.
Close enough. You tried. And he can come back and say, I'm sorry too, bitch. And I think we'll be good.
Well, then he needs to come and do that.
Come do it. Do it, Big Tech. Say, I'm sorry, bitch.
Yeah, neutralize the energy here. I was kind of a bitch, okay? I acknowledge that. I'm an Aries. I can own being a bitch on the internet. Yeah. Like,
and
whatever.
He's a dick. He knows he's a dick. He revels in being a dick. It's part of his shtick.
You don't even believe I'm obsessed with you.
No, and you don't believe he's obsessed with you. He doesn't believe you're obsessed with him. This is a game. Both of you are adorable. You're so cute. I could picture little cheekies. All right, closing question. I have cards are like, we're not done.
What do I need to know that I haven't thought to ask yet? That's always a good closing question when you're getting psychicked, by the way.
Is there anything else in this that we need to know? Stronger when you work together. Sorry. I'm not going to show you the name of this card. I just want you to see the image because I think you'll appreciate it.
That's the Page of Cups. I know what that card is.
Damn. But I love the little fish. I'm like, oh, Pisces. It's so cute. Yeah, I mean, honestly, equilibrium can be achieved. Right now, I feel like both of you are going, and that's just how it's going to be right now. Nothing else can be done until I think a little kindness from him right now is really what needs to happen.
Yeah, a little kindness from you is what needs to happen, Pisces.
He's got to take that step. And it's not for you, it's for himself. If he's got to stop being so, my advice, I can't tell him he has to do something or it has to not do. That's not my place. I mean, it would be more beneficial if he was able to find a little bit of that softness and logic that I know is in there. And okay, I went too far with the AI porn, Karlyn. I'm sorry, you bitch. That's all it takes. And just do that and let us think. We just need to neutralize the energy is all that needs to happen, really. And we can all calm down. Okay, are we good?
Okay, excellent psychic reading, Jennifer.
Should we end? Thank you. You're welcome. Shall we end the stream and just like label this the big tech drama and then restart Disenraged? Because I feel
I think we should do the Book of Enoch. I think we should
restart like a new Disenraged separate that says the Book of Enoch.
We'll just make a clip of this later. Be fine, Jen. We don't need to stop the stream and restart the fucking stream. I will say this though. I will say this is I think his real issue is that he's jealous that you and I are going to go see Bashar in like a couple weeks, and he's not going to see Bashar because we both know you like Bashar, even though you pretend not to know who he is.
You should come.
No, he should not come. He should not come. No, he should not. That would be horrible and disastrous and ruin my entire weekend in Sedona. W. Derpy Dan, thank you so much for the channel membership. Appreciate it. No, he is not invited to Bashar. He can stay in California or wherever the fuck he is.
Oh my God. Okay.
I am banning you. I am banning you from the state of Arizona, Pisces, for the next several weeks. You're not allowed. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
And if Amalek's still around and listening, and Amalek's probably like laughing his fucking ass off at all of this shit.
I need to find somebody put the link to text like thing so I can watch his reaction.
Oh, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
I'm very curious. I'll see how much. Yeah. I'm sure he's gonna.
To be very clear, I'm not going to watch that shit. But if you
I'm to see how much I can stomach. I'm just curious because I just feel like I don't want to hurt him, but I'm hoping I'm doing some good, and I want to know if he's going to let that in.
Well, he has an issue with receiving care, so
I can see. Like
that. He is like right. He does not like receiving care from other people. I will just say that he does not like that at all in any way.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It is. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate the psychic reading.
You're welcome.
And that was awesome. And I'm going to send Amalek the link if he wants to come and join us to talk about the Book of Enoch.
Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Oh no. We're going to be here till fucking Thursday.
Well, probably, but these videos are relatively short. So we are actually going to be doing a normal show tonight now that we have gotten I didn't expect the Psychic Ink to last that long, but you were like Jennifer, you were like on a roll with that. And I was actually very impressed by that reading. That was probably one of the better psychic readings I've ever gotten. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. I owe you something like a crystal or something in Sedona in payment.
Sweet.
All right, we are going to talk about the Book of Enoch tonight. Jennifer has very helpfully put together a bunch of different videos for us to watch. Jennifer, what the fuck is the Book of Enoch?
The Book of Enoch is one of what is known as one of the forbidden books of the Bible, where like many Christians jump up and down about you can't read it. It's like the Book of Enoch, the Book of Josephus, the Book of Mary Magdalene, the Book of Judas. But the Book of Enoch got a lot of notoriety because it mentions UFOs and aliens, and it talks about the Nephilim and how the angels that fell to earth. It's almost like the actual, like if someone read the Bible, read Genesis and Revelation. If you just read Genesis and Revelation, and then went, wow, that's some crazy shit. And then someone went, oh, you want to know what really happened? That's the Book of Enoch.
Okay. All right.
And Enoch himself was the 7th generation from Adam and Noah's grandfather. So
all the begatting.
Yeah. Well, no, that was later. That's after the flood, I think. But this is like in Genesis, like the flood happens, I think. In Genesis, because after that it's all Exodus. We go into Egypt and all that shit, and that's way after. So this is all the archaic hidden history of the history. So we have like Eden, Adam and Eve, and we think, okay, Anunnaki or this, that, and the other thing. There's an alternate version, and this could have happened way after the Anunnaki left, because I don't see why it can't all be together. Like, I don't see why we couldn't have Anunnaki and then now this. But it was, so Enoch comes in, and he was chosen to be taken up and shown the reality of the universe. And in his limited ability to explain what he was looking at, he wrote these books, and they were passed down. The oldest one is like 23 or 2,500 years old. The oldest translation, and it's just really interesting. And in fact, I as I was looking through some of the scriptures, because I watched a lot of videos on this today, and some of them were very Christian skewed, some were Judaically skewed, some were just historians talking about it. But some of the scriptures, I was like, this is exactly what my church believed, and it's like it's the doomsday.
Oh, for people who don't know, Jennifer was raised in a Christian cult.
Yes.
It's no longer Christian. No proselytization, please.
No. I left when I started leaving when I was 19, but I didn't really actually walk out the door and never go back till I was 21. So.
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got 3 videos. We've got the Book of Enoch explained. We've got the Book of Enoch says 6 abilities were stripped from humanity. And we've got the Book of Enoch says the second coming was misunderstood. Each of these videos is less than 20 minutes long, which means it'll probably take Jennifer and I about 3.5 hours to discuss all of them, especially if Amalek joins us. Yeah, we'll probably be here till... I don't know. Amalek might not join. I don't know if Amalek's going to come, but like if Amalek comes, the show's going to be at least 4 hours longer than it probably should have been.
Let's wait after that reading. God. And this guy, this first one here, this gentleman it's just a nice, quick, tight summary of what the Book of Enoch is. I thought, let's get some groundwork, then we'll get into the fun shit. And I'm going to go use the little goddess room, because
I think you deserve a trip to the little goddess room myself, and possibly a glass of like Dionysian or like whatever the fuck. I don't know.
I can't have liquor anymore because I'm on the keto now.
Oh, you're doing the keto?
I'm doing the keto.
Do you know what you can have on that though? Weed.
A little bit. God damn it! It's not legal in Tennessee.
Well, that doesn't really fucking matter, Jennifer. All
I have to do is drive over one state, and I can totally get
exactly.
I'm not a big pot smoker, but I don't know how to handle my weed. It's been too long. But
oh no! Hey, that seems as good a reason to say, yo, Pantera's in with 10 gifted channel memberships on DISENRAGE. Big support, bro. Thank you so much. W's to you. Appreciate you coming out tonight, supporting the stream. We might get just as many memberships on DISENRAGE as we did it earlier.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That's
all right, so
rad.
I'm gonna go reground myself, and I need to do a little bit of cutting the cords and tendrils that were formed.
Cut all the fucking cords. Yeah.
So go ahead and start this guy, and I shall return.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. I felt deeply seen by that psychic reading, and I'm not quite sure. I'm still Jennifer. You were supposed to leave before I said that. Like, I was about to be like, Jennifer made me feel really fucking seen with that psychic reading. We can't hear you, Jennifer. Go to the bathroom. Go to the goddess's room. We can't hear you. Don't encroach on my private conversation with the audience.
I live in a little teeny weeny trailer, Karlyn. I can hear everything throughout the whole place. So like, it's not I can't hear you. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna try and find the thingy that makes my camera stop being a camera for a minute.
Okay.
It's over here somewhere. Nope. Oh, there it is. He found it.
All right, we're learning about the Book of Enoch. Everyone focus. Everyone pay attention. No more shenanigans. Let's go.
100 chapters long, thousands and thousands of words, but it's based off of a fairly obscure biblical character, Enoch. The Hebrew Bible has very little to say about him. In the book of Genesis, he appears briefly in the genealogy of Adam. After fathering Methuselah and a bunch of other kids, the text simply says, Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him. Wait, there's got to be more backstory here, right? What does "because God took him" even mean? Well, early Jews and Christians were rarely satisfied with such vague biblical passages, which leads us to its spin-off, the Book of Enoch. This text was so popular for early Christians that even the New Testament cites it. The book of Jude, the second to last book in the New Testament, directly references Enoch, chapter 1, verse 9. But for a book that was so popular for ancient Jews and Christians, very few people today know about it. So what is the Book of Enoch, and what does it really say? First of all, there's not just one Book of Enoch. In fact, the Book of Enoch typically refers to First Enoch. However, there's also a Second Enoch, which probably dates back to the 1st century CE, but is preserved in later manuscripts written in the Church Slavonic language. And there's a Third Enoch. It survives in Hebrew and was preserved by Rabbinic Judaism. This video will be focusing on First Enoch. The next consideration, calling it the Book of Enoch, is kind of a misnomer. First Enoch is a compilation of several texts stitched together. There are obvious and abrupt seams between sections that are best explained by the theory that someone brought them all together into a compilation sometime in the past. First Enoch has 5 major sections and 2 appendices, which you can see on screen. The oldest sections of the text probably date back to the 4th or 3rd century BCE. However, the most complete manuscripts of the text date to the 15th or 16th centuries, written in the Ethiopic language. Ethiopic, also known as Ge'ez, is a Semitic language, a cousin of Hebrew, Arabic, and Amharic, one of the main spoken languages in Ethiopia today. Ethiopic is the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, kind of like how Latin was historically used in liturgies for Catholics, or the Coptic language for Coptic Orthodox Christians. So you can see that the Book of Enoch had a long journey from when it was first composed to when our most complete manuscripts were created. Enoch was probably originally written in Aramaic before being translated into Greek and then finally into Ethiopic. Big chunks of the Aramaic version of Enoch were found among the Dead Sea Scrolls at the site of Qumran. One Dead Sea Scroll fragment contains several sections of Enoch in one text, which shows that the different sections were already circulating as one compilation by the 1st century BCE. In all, 90 different manuscripts of First Enoch exist in some form or another. However, some of the manuscripts have big differences compared to earlier versions. This is why if you're going to read it for yourself, it's really important to find a scholarly translation that tries to account for all of the manuscript variations. I personally recommend the Hermeneia translation by George Nicholsberg and James Vanderkam. It's published by Fortress Press. This is not a advertisement. It's literally just the best version I could find when I was researching this episode. Okay, that's a quick overview of the text itself. It's comprised of several texts stitched into one. It was originally written in Aramaic, but its most complete manuscripts are written in Ethiopic. Parts of it probably date to the 4th century BCE, but it also has sections that date to a few centuries later. But what about the content? What does First Enoch actually say? Like I said, the best way I can describe the Book of Enoch is that it is spin-off literature. It takes 2 tiny, tantalizing snippets from Genesis and expands them into a whole book of fantastic visions and stories. We already saw the first blurb, a few short sentences that says, God took Enoch. The second blurb, which inspires the entire opening section of First Enoch, is an odd story from Genesis 6, 1 through 4, about divine beings having sex with humans. Genesis says that before Noah's flood, divine beings called B'nai Elohim, which literally translates to children of God, come down to earth to have sex with human women, who then give birth to beings called Nephilim. The text says these Nephilim were the mighty men of old, warriors of renown. That's it. Nothing else. No more mention of who these Nephilim were or their exploits. No backstory about these sons of God. And you know what that means? It's a story ready for a spin-off. Enoch vastly expands these few verses into the Book of the Watchers. The sons of God are no longer a vague category of heavenly beings, but a whole society of fallen angels called the Watchers, led by their chief, Shemihaza. Their children, the Nephilim, are giants that start to
I feel like you need to write an erotic fiction with someone with the name Shemihaza. That could be the next iteration of the House of the Golden Bed.
That's something you can say when you come.
Exactly. Hey, Brooks, thanks for being a member of the channel for 14 months. Saying the Book of Enoch was written because of something so insignificant is really dumbing down this book's importance. I'm just learning about this, bro. I don't know. Jennifer, what do you think?
Wait, well, I kind of came in, I meant, because I didn't watch this whole video, so what was he talking about? Was he referring to?
I don't know. I was distracted by the name Shemi Haza.
To say it was written because of something so insignificant, can you be more specific about what the insignificant thing is?
Yeah, can you be more specific,
Please.
Brooks? Because obviously I was not paying attention.
Havoc on earth. Enoch 7:3 says that the giants began to kill men and to devour them and then kill all the beasts and drank their blood. Sounds kind of like a horror.
He's saying the book is written because of 2 small Bible verses. Yeah, that probably seems insignificant.
No, it's not written because of 2 small Bible verses. There are 2 small Bible verses that mention the Book of Enoch. Now, during the Council of Nicaea, the Book of Enoch was selected to not appear in the Bible. And only a couple, there's actually 4 that I've seen today, scriptures that mention exact quotes from the Book of Enoch that are actually in today's Bible. But it wasn't written because of Bible verses. You're looking at this as a call response. It was written on its own. And when all these old ancient texts were discovered, Dead Sea Scrolls, like all these other old ancient scripts and things that have been passed down, probably the Library of Alexandria, the Council of Nicaea came together and said, okay, what are we going to put in the Holy Book to tell people how to live? And Enoch was excluded because they thought it explained too many things that they didn't want Christians or people to know. So it had nothing to do with the Bible. The Bible didn't exist yet for a while, like hundreds of years. I hope that answered your question.
The section also describes the Watchers as devious angels, skilled in evil supernatural arts, which they then taught to humanity. Chapter 8 says that the Watcher Asael taught weapons of war to humanity. Shemi Haza taught them sorcery. Others taught humans how to do astrology. As the Watchers and Nephilim continue to devastate the earth and pollute humans with evil knowledge, the story culminates in humanity crying out to God for help. In response, God dispatches his 4 archangels to set things right.
Teenage
He instructs
Ninja Turtle.
one to warn Noah about the coming flood, another to imprison the fallen angel Asael and cast him into darkness. God orders Gabriel to destroy the Nephilim with a downright chilling passage, telling Gabriel to go to the bastards, to the half-breeds, to the sons of miscegenation, and destroy the sons of the Watchers. Yikes. And finally, God commissions Michael to imprison the king of the Watchers, Shemi Haza. In this story, God sends Enoch as a prophet or emissary to the Watchers to warn them that they'll be destroyed. The remaining sections of Enoch contain mostly prophecy and visions. Rather than summarizing each and every section, I want to focus on the major themes running through these prophecies. The expectation of a Messiah, final judgment, salvation, resurrection, and heavenly journeys. All of these are hallmarks of the cultural context and genre of First Enoch, Jewish apocalypticism. Apocalyptic literature is the name scholars call a bunch of texts that became super popular among Jews during the Second Temple period. These were texts that generally describe mystical visions of heaven, where an angel would...
There is a Python Dior bag in this bag show, and it's red.
Is this what we're doing right now?
No, I'm going to play the video.
Would reveal to a prophet the end times or a coming judgment
Send
of the
me
world.
the link.
Enoch is one of the oldest Jewish apocalyptic texts, even older than another famous apocalyptic text, the Book of Daniel. That's to say, if we follow the scholarly consensus that Daniel was composed during the Hellenistic era of the 2nd century BCE. Many of the terms commonly associated with Daniel, like the Son of Man and the Messiah, can be found first in the Book of Enoch. In one chapter, Enoch sees a vision in which the Son of Man is commissioned. He will be the staff for the righteous. He will be the light of the nations, and all who dwell on the earth will fall down and worship before him. For those of you familiar with the New Testament, this sort of language should sound familiar, as it's all applied to Jesus as well. But in this text, Enoch himself is named the Son of Man. Chapter 71:14 says, "You are that Son of Man who was born for righteousness." We also find the idea of hell in Enoch, another theological concept seen later in Christianity. Remember from my History of Hell video that the concept of hell does not exist in the older texts of the Hebrew Bible.
No,
it is
it
a
does not.
later innovation
watch
that
that.
gained popularity during the
Yeah, we
Second
did a whole
Temple
thing
period,
about hell, I think.
especially.
I know, but did we do the complete history of hell? Like,
No, but that would be fascinating. We could do that. Well, I think we did more of Satan than hell, actually.
that sounds like a really interesting video, actually, the history of hell.
Yeah, cool.
In apocalyptic literature. In chapter 21:7, Enoch beholds a narrow chasm extending to the abyss, where he saw a great fire burning and flaming. The text says, "This place is a prison for the angels. Here they will be confined forever." Okay, so that's a summary of the content. Basically an entire text super concerned that the current world is evil and needs to be judged and renewed. A new age is at hand. God's final judgment is coming. But what about its later history? First Enoch was enormously influential for later Jews, Christians, and even Muslims. First, let's go through its history within Judaism. First Enoch influenced a bunch of non-canonical Jewish texts. In fact, Jubilees, another Second Temple Jewish text preserved in Ethiopic and found at Qumran in Hebrew, shares a lot of details with Enoch. However, although the Book of Enoch was a big deal for Second Temple Judaism, it plays almost no role in modern Judaism. Rabbinic Judaism rejected two major claims put forth by the Enoch spin-off literature. First, they rejected the notion that Enoch never died, and the idea that rebellious angels came to earth at the time of the flood. Because of this, Enoch doesn't formally appear in the canonical books of the Hebrew Bible, and only rarely in rabbinic literature. And even when it does appear, it appears in a negative light. One of the most important exceptions to the negative portrayal of Enoch in rabbinic literature is Third Enoch. This is a rabbinic Hebrew story of Enoch transforming into the angel Metatron. Metatron, the transfigured Enoch, is even described as a second or lesser Yahweh, while Enoch is mentioned in Third Enoch and some other mystical rabbinic.
Metatron is like the most powerful angel energy. Have you ever done Metatron meditations, Jennifer?
I haven't done any angel meditation. I have done angel circles for higher magic purposes when I was learning some new ritual stuff, but I've never done, I can't say I've done angel meditations, no.
Metatron is the only angel who doesn't end in L, like of God.
Yeah.
Because like Metatron is like basically like, okay, so here's my understanding of Metatron is like basically the closest to God. Metatron's like the voice of God that people hear and like all that stuff. And like, so like when I've done Metatron meditations, that is some powerful stuff. That's it feels crazy.
I'll take your word for it. I can't believe it.
Rabbinic Judaism doesn't consider them standard. For example, the Babylonian Talmud, second only to the Hebrew Bible in importance for traditional Rabbinic Judaism, says that a famous rabbi became a heretic when he saw Metatron sitting in the presence of God and claimed that there are two powers in heaven. In the Talmud, Metatron and the rabbi are both punished, but this story reflects the Talmud's discomfort with the whole idea of Enoch becoming a divine being. Curiously, this is not the case in Kabbalah, medieval Jewish mysticism. Kabbalistic texts such as the Zohar not only view Enoch positively, but also compares him to Adam and refers to the Book of Enoch to explain ambiguous biblical verses. The scholar of late antique Judaism and Christianity, Annette Reed, suggests that this is a result of continuing cross-cultural Jewish and Christian dialogue throughout late antiquity. Because apparently Christians really liked this text, at least at first. Like I said, the Book of Jude in the New Testament directly references First Enoch, and Enoch likely influenced the theology of the Gospels and the Book of Revelation. The idea of the Son of Man, for example, which appears in the Gospel of Mark, shares theological similarities with First Enoch. The last book of the New Testament, Revelation, closely resembles the apocalypse of the Book of the Parables, since both describe a throne room apocalypse partnered with a final judgment both in the heavens and on earth.
What?
Initially, First Enoch was a big deal.
Why are you smiling? What?
Two reasons. First of all, Bot is killing me in the chat. Metatron sounds like a transformer. Megatron was the leader of the Decepticons. So yeah, X-Gen represent. Wah wah. And also, I'm having struggles because the cord to my camera is so short that anything I move on my desk, it starts going. I'm like, earthquake.
Stop fucking around on the deathbed. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna have the lightning strike again like last week.
No storms tonight. We're good.
Dang.
Christians. Church fathers such as Justin Martyr and Irenaeus use and reference 1st Enoch. Tertullian even defends the book's authority, and the non-canonical Epistle of Barnabas refers to 1st Enoch as scripture. However, by the 4th century, Enoch apparently fell out of favor. It's around this time that big-name church fathers like Augustine and Jerome rejected it. By the 7th and 8th centuries, 1st Enoch only remained popular in Ethiopia, which still remains true to this day, as part of the biblical canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. With over 81 books, the biblical canon is much wider in Ethiopian Christianity compared to other branches of Christianity. And by including Enoch, the book has left a lasting legacy on Ethiopian Christians. But Enoch was not only a big deal in Judaism and Christianity, he also appears in early Islamic traditions. The prophet Idris is mentioned twice in the Quran. The Quran commands its audience, and remember Idris in the book, verily he was truthful and a prophet. We raised him to a sublime station. Idris is typically associated with Enoch, although some also associate him with Elijah. And like what we see in the book of Genesis, his little blurb here is ambiguous. Many Muslim commentators debate what is meant by raised to a sublime station. In one hadith, one of the reported sayings, actions, and approval of the prophet reports that he met Idris in the 4th heaven during his miraculous ascension through the 7 heavens, typically rendered as the night journey in the west. Other commentators suggest that sublime station means that Idris was directly taken alive by God, which parallels the plain text of Genesis 5:24. So even though Enoch only earned a brief mention in his source text, Genesis, that one tiny blurb inspired an entire book that continued to influence religious traditions for centuries to come. The Qumran community, early Christians, early Muslims, Jewish Kabbalists, and Ethiopian Christians today. And even though very few people today have read this book, the apocalyptic ideas introduced in Enoch, hell, salvation, the Son of Man, the coming of the Messiah, these ideas lay the groundwork for the central themes of Christian theology. Not bad for a work of spin-off literature. And just like how the Watchers taught magic to humanity, I'll be teaching a 2-week seminar.
So hang on. This book laid the foundations for some of the most important elements of Christian theology, yet it's not even included in the Bible.
It's got way too much other weird shit in it, and they didn't want that to be part of Christianity. Because it's very so the message of Christianity is very simple, right? It's distilled. You have one God, he's got good guys and bad guys, and one devil. And then you have earth in the middle, man and woman starting everything out. And it's very simple. And here's the story of how all this went down. And then God he smote the earth with a friggin' flood. And then he sent Jesus down and went, he's going to die for your sins. And it's very easy. Here are the rules to live your life. You have 10 of them. Do these. Then you have the 7 Beatitudes. Yeah, okay, do these things and you go to heaven. Very simple. Bam, bam, bam. Very easy. If you have other existential shit that hints at a larger universe or weird other more complex things, or, I don't know, angelic beings with free will, which is who the Watchers were, that's going to get confusing. It's going to scare the little people. So we can't have that.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, I think this video is over. He's pretty much just shilling his seminar at this point. So can we move on to the next video?
We shall.
Cool. And I'm gonna tell Amalek, like, why don't we plan to do like a part 2 of this next week, and we can get Amalek to come and talk to us about this because he said that he's taken a bunch of classes on this and he has a lot to say.
We probably scared him away with all the.
I mean, I think that he's rather amused by the whole thing with that situation, regardless. But maybe he didn't want to sit around and listen to us psychic that asshole all night.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe in any of this shit anyway, so I'm not going to waste my time on it.
No, I wouldn't be so sure he doesn't believe in it, but maybe he had better things to do. But maybe I'll tell him, like, come on next week and we can talk about your thing.
Absolutely.
Or he might still join us. Who knows? Who knows what the night could bring? Who knows?
Ooh.
All right, we're watching the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch. Jennifer, don't be lewd. Amalek is a young man. Leave him alone.
What? I'm not doing anything.
He's not that young, actually. No, he's not that fucking young. Okay. The Book of Enoch says 6 abilities were stripped from humanity. The last one is.
This is a great video.
the
This video
worst.
blew my fucking mind. I love this video.
Really? Okay, let's see. What did we lose?
Archives of the Ethiopian Orthodox tradition, there's a concept modern theology refuses to touch, and it's captured in the image you clicked on. A man suspended in the void, golden tendrils of energy forcibly ripped from his chest, his eyes, his mind, by unseen hands in the dark. This isn't a metaphor. It's presented as a historical record. According to the Book of Enoch and the surrounding suppressed apocrypha, the human body you currently inhabit is a downgraded model, operating on a fraction of its original biological and spiritual capacity. The ancient texts describe humanity as systematically stripped of 6 specific, divine abilities, some taken as a defensive measure by God, others lost as collateral damage from the invasion of the Watchers. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what was extracted from your genetic code. One detail in this story changes everything. The 6th and final ability, a loss institutional churches have spent 2,000 years keeping hidden. If you knew what was taken from you, you'd know exactly how to get it back. And it starts with something most people completely overlook in the Garden of Eden. One of the biggest assumptions in modern evolutionary theory is that humanity is currently at its peak, that we crawled out of the mud, learned to strike flint, and slowly built ourselves into the apex predators of the cosmos. But the Enochic texts tell the opposite story. We're not an evolving species, they argue, but a degraded one, spiritual amnesiacs surviving in the ruins of our former biology. To understand the scale of what was taken from us, start with the first ability stripped from humanity, the luminous physiology, often called in ancient texts the garment of light. Genesis tells us that after the fall, God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve. Sunday school usually teaches this as a simple story about animal pelts and modesty. The authors of the Book of Enoch and the ancient mystics who preserved texts like the Second Book of Enoch, also known as the Slavonic Enoch, understood it entirely differently. Before the fall, Adam and Eve weren't naked in the biological sense, and they didn't have the dense, corruptible flesh we carry today. According to the apocryphal traditions found in the history of the Rechabites and echoed in Enochic literature, the original human form was clothed in a stole of glory, a body of radiant light immune to disease, decay, and death. They didn't just reflect light, they generated it. Their cellular structure was fundamentally different. When humanity was expelled from the higher dimensional space of Eden, this ability was stripped away. The garments of skin weren't animal hides. They were our current biological bodies. We were downgraded from luminous, immortal beings into dense, carbon-based organisms trapped in a slow state of cellular decay, locked into the physical matrix. This loss of the garment of light immediately triggered the loss of the second ability, universal resonance or omnilingual dominion. In our current, downgraded state, human communication is limited. We push air through vocal cords to make sounds, hoping the person listening interprets the vibrations correctly, completely isolated from the natural world. A human can't speak to the earth, command the animals, or hear the frequency of creation. But the pre-flood texts suggest humanity originally possessed a resonant frequency that commanded nature itself. Adam didn't just point at animals and give them arbitrary names. He understood their absolute nature. He spoke the language of creation, a vibrational authority that the entire physical realm obeyed. This wasn't a magical superpower. It was the natural operating system of a being clothed in the glory of the Creator. When the garment of light was stripped, the frequency was jammed. Humanity was plunged into silence. We became strangers on our own planet, forced to dominate nature through brute force and tools because we could no longer command it through resonant authority. There's a reason this matters more than most people realize, and we'll get to the darkest theft of all, the sixth ability, which explains the sheer anxiety of the modern human condition. But first, we have to understand how the arrival of the Watchers triggered a cascading collapse of our biological design. because the loss of light and the loss of resonance were just the beginning. The next abilities weren't lost through a single mistake in Eden. They were forcibly deactivated to save us from an invasion that almost wiped out the entire human timeline. In the days of Jared, the grandfather of Enoch, the boundary between the heavens and the earth was violently breached.
Jennifer, you want to see the red
200
Dior
angelic
bag? You
beings.
want to see the red Dior bag real quick? You want to see the red Dior bag? This
Oh
is
my
deeply
god,
important.
I would love
I got
nothing
it.
better.
I got a screenshot of it. Hang on. I'm gonna make us bigger so you can adequately see the red Dior bag. But it's lizard. I was wrong. It's lizard, and it starts as pink in the front, and then it goes to darker red.
So
It's
it
so
ombres.
It's yes, it ombres. It ombres. It's so pretty. I wish it's not showing, but it's so good. It's so good.
No, I
want
got
so
the.
bad.
It looks so pretty. Did you get it?
No, I did. I'm waiting. Like, so it's an auction show, and you basically bid on the wall, and you get winner's choice. Whoever wins the bid gets to pick whatever bag they want off the wall. So I'm kind of waiting to see where the bids go a little bit later in the night, and if anyone else snags it. But I did just get, and I need to go to the post office to pick it up because my mail lady is like being a passive aggressive cunt. She is like my mail lady needs to go fuck herself. But like, but so basically, I just bought a furry green Fendi bag the other day that like it's got mink fur. Jennifer, it's so
We're
fucking
doing this
cool.
now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Here we are. We're here now.
I see. Now I have to show you this bag. No, this bag. Look, it's furry. It's green. It's a Fendi bag. It's like green, like the Grinch, like green. It's a neon green furry bag, and so I just bought that, and so I'm trying to hold off. Huh?
You bought a Grinch scrotum?
I did. I bought a little Grinch furry dumpling fucking Fendi bag that is sitting at my post office right now because the mail lady won't fucking deliver it. She's a bitch.
She's like, I watch you and I do not approve of you, and I'm also queer, and I'm not gonna bring you damn bags.
No, so there's a signature required. Like, she left a form for me yesterday. I signed the fucking form and stuck it on the door, and I came back today and my bag still wasn't here. So I'm like, do I really need to go to the fucking post office to get this bag? Because I was gonna go out to breakfast with Victor tomorrow, and I don't really feel like going to the post office.
Go out to breakfast and then go to the post office, and then you get there and they're gonna say, "Oh, that's already been delivered."
yeah, we'd have to go to the post office early. If she doesn't bring that fucking bag tomorrow, I'm gonna be mad. Anyway,
known as the Watchers, descended on the summit of Mount Hermon, and their arrival initiated a genetic emergency that changed human biology forever. The descent of the Watchers is the most suppressed event in human history. When these beings touched down on Mount Hermon, led by Samyaza and Azazel, they didn't just bring rebellion, they brought forbidden technology. According to the first book of Enoch, they taught humanity metallurgy, the making of swords and shields, the casting of shadows, the mixing of cosmetics, root cuttings, and the secrets of the stars. But their greatest crime was genetic. They took human wives, and the resulting offspring were the Nephilim, chimeric giants that consumed the resources of the earth and brought humanity to the brink of extinction. This cosmic intermingling forced the Creator's hand, leading to the extraction of the third ability, regenerative longevity. Read the genealogy of Genesis chapter 5. Adam lived 930 years. Seth lived 912 years. Enosh, 905 years. Methuselah famously reached 969 years. Skeptics write these numbers off as myth or mistranslations of lunar cycles, but the ancient Sumerian king list mirrors this same pattern, documenting pre-flood rulers who reigned for thousands of years.
Suddenly, humankind went from living nearly 1,000 years, like a person living nearly 1,000 years, to living maybe 50, maybe 70. What happened there?
We had the ability of 900-year life taken away from us.
Mm-hmm. He just said it's a genetic crap. I just lost the word, but yeah, genetic rehabilitation or something, where you could actually your telomeres or T cells, or whatever the fuck those things are, that like tell you when you're gonna die. Like when they run out, you're gonna die. It's like they used to be able to go much longer, and now they're cut short. That was part of I want to say that came about, I think I heard somebody talking about that was part of the flood thing. Like that happened after the flood. but I could be wrong on that.
A detail preserved across more than one ancient tradition. Early humanity possessed an incredible regenerative capacity. Even in our dense garments of skin, the human body was designed to repair its own DNA, flush out cellular damage, and sustain life for nearly a millennium. But the Watchers corrupted the human bloodline. They introduced spiritual and genetic pollution on a planetary scale.
Genetic pollution.
If humans were allowed to live for 1,000 years while possessing the destructive technologies of heaven, they would have annihilated themselves.
Yeah, well, that's probably very true. But also, like, I don't know if I really want to live 1,000 years, if I'm being honest, Jennifer. Like right now, like I'm in middle age, whether I want to admit it or not. Like, I feel like if like you want me to live another 900 fucking years, like that's actually crazy. That's crazy. I feel like I'm
imagine it'd be like imagine how much longer your youth would last, how much longer like you would be so stupid. Like people go, oh well, you don't even really mature till you're 350. You know, like imagine all of that. There's so much more time. People would probably reproduce a lot slower. You know, there'd be a lot. It would just be an upscaling. You know how people say like being wealthy is just a bigger version of poverty. It's like you're still living paycheck to paycheck, paying the same bills. Same thing with life. Like you would still, it would be proportional. Like you would view things differently. And then, you know, you reach 900 years old and you're like, well, God, why don't we just live 2,000 years old? Like, why only 1,000? So, I mean, it's all proportionate, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at it prospectively, on the other hand, things happen very fast right now. So living 900 years, imagine if you were just imagine what happened 500 years ago.
No, that's actually crazy to think about.
Yeah. Like things happen so quickly, partially probably because our lifetimes are so short.
Yeah. Good point.
1,000-year-old human with the knowledge of angelic warfare is an apocalyptic threat. So God instituted a genetic firewall in Genesis 6:3, right as the Watcher's rebellion peaks, the decree comes down, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. This wasn't just a punishment. It was a quarantine. Our biological clocks were sped up and our telomeres were shortened. The ability to regenerate indefinitely was stripped from our genetic code, and we were capped at 120 years to limit the amount of damage any single human generation could inflict on the world. We became fleeting.
That's like probably well fucking deserved though, if we're being honest. Like, listen, assholes. If we let you live longer, you're really gonna fuck shit up. You're already stupid enough. We're gonna limit the amount of stupidity that you can inflict on the rest of the universe.
We can't have one person having the knowledge of a whole like millennia because they're really gonna hurt shit. I mean, oh my God. Well, this I don't know why my mind went to the presidency. I'm like, we have presidencies that are 4 years long so that they can't do too much damage. True. This is why we don't have a president for 10 years at a time. Imagine a decade-long presidency with Biden in charge.
Oh like, God, imagine having Trump in office for 10 years like things are now. I would shoot myself. Not really. I would never do that, but
if we lived for 900 years, it wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
But since we don't, it's a big deal.
Dying creatures, forced to hand our knowledge to the next generation before we withered away. But the capping of our lifespan required a second, immediate downgrade. To truly isolate humanity from the corruption of the Watchers, the fourth ability had to be taken. Unveiled spiritual sight. Look again at the manuscript in the thumbnail. The eye is separated from the holy figure. Today, you look out at the world and see a strictly material universe. Cars, trees, buildings, sky. If an angelic entity or a demonic principality were standing in your room right now, your physical eyes wouldn't register its presence, and your brain wouldn't process the data. This is a deliberate biological block. According to the Book of Enoch and surrounding texts like the Book of Moses, early humanity had overlapping vision. The spiritual realm and the physical realm weren't separated by a massive veil. The ancient text 2 Enoch describes the garden as a place filled with souls and glorious beings. But the text explicitly notes that these entities are not visible to anyone corporeal unless that person is totally righteous or specially prepared. When Enoch himself was taken up, he had to be anointed with a divine glowing oil by the archangel Michael. This oil, described as smelling of myrrh and shining brighter than the sun, transformed Enoch's biology and restored the lost glory of Adam. Only after this anointing could Enoch's eyes perceive the hidden structures of the cosmos, the angels, and the architecture of heaven.
Ooh, look at that mask. I
third
like this one. I like the green one.
That's
That's a pretty color green.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the same color as my tarot. My tarot.
Oh, yeah,
Holder
the
thingy.
turquoise. Yeah, that's lovely.
eye, or spiritual perception, was sealed shut. We were made biologically blind to the supernatural
Third
war
eye
raging
blind.
around us because the
Third eye
human
blind.
mind, in its corrupted state,
I fucking loved Third Eye Blind when they were. I saw them in concert like several times. I actually got the guitar pick of the guitar player at one of the concerts, and I fucking loved him. I had the biggest crush on him, and he gave me his guitar pick, and it was very nice.
Oh, he's special. He's so special.
could no longer withstand the terror and magnitude of the spiritual entities that roamed the earth.
Brooks?
If you could see the Nephilim spirits, the disembodied demons wandering the earth after the flood, you would lose your mind. We were blinded for our own protection, but being genetically capped and spiritually blinded was devastating. We were trapped in decaying bodies, unable to see the forces manipulating our world.
All of you in the chat
None of
suck.
this compares to what happened next,
I know.
though.
Oh my
Every
God.
lyric of that song, including the part that was edited out of the radio version, and like I know I can sing the whole fucking thing. That was like the only karaoke song that I would actually ever do. We're not going to reenact that right now. This is not karaoke. Okay.
The extraction of the final two abilities that completely isolated humanity in the cosmos and left us desperately vulnerable. By the time the floodwaters receded, humanity was a shadow of its former self. We were short-lived, spiritually blind, disconnected from the earth's resonance, and trapped in heavy, dying flesh. But there were still two massive pieces of our original design left to be stripped away. The fifth ability was dimensional authority. In the Enochic worldview, the cosmos is heavily layered. 2 Enoch details a complex system of 7 heavens, housing everything from the storehouses of snow to the prisons of the fallen angels. Originally, humanity was meant to be the bridge between the lower heavens and the physical earth. We held the keys to the gates. But when humanity aligned with the Watchers, we forfeited our territorial rights. We lost our dimensional authority. The earth was handed over to the princes, the territorial spirits, and principalities mentioned by the Apostle Paul. Humanity became tenants on a planet we were supposed to rule, locked into the 3-dimensional plane, unable to ascend, while the fallen entities established their kingdoms in the unseen realms directly above us. This brings us to the bottom of the ancient manuscript diagram, the crown wrapped in dark smoke, the final, most catastrophic loss in human history. The 6th ability stripped from humanity was the direct intercessory link. Before the fall and before the corruption of the Watchers, the human mind was in constant, unbroken communion with the Creator. There was no need for prayer as we understand it today.
So the big thing that we lost is the knowledge that we are always connected to God, source, the one true energy, whatever you want to say. We are always connected. We are never disconnected. When we come and be born as human beings, we forget about that connection and then yada yada. Am I right?
Yep. That was the 6th thing. So yeah, that was, and because of that disconnection, religions arose.
Yeah, it's religions who tried to step in to replace that connection and say, we are the way that you connect to God. You are not inherently connected to God. We do that. Give us money. And and all the treasure.
all your riches. There's a word for that. What is that?
Jewish?
It's capitalizing on a thing.
Jewish?
There's a
Do you mean Jewish?
No, I don't mean Jewish.
Obviously, we love Jews. We respect them being God's chosen people. Probably capitalism. It's probably capitalism, right?
They capitalized on the void in the market. Oh, are you not feeling connected to God? Me neither. Oh, I have just the thing. Cut the tip off your dick. Go say some.
Yeah,
go
cut
talk
the
to
tip
that-
off your dick. Who was stupid enough to buy into that fucking farce? Cut the tip off your dick to be closer to God. Like, this is why men cannot be responsible for making decisions, because when men are left responsible for making decisions, we get cut off the tip of your dick to be closer to God.
Yeah. And the Muslims went, oh, we'll do one better. We'll do it to the women.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Men. Thank you.
Can't trust them.
Hey, no need to close your eyes, fold your hands, and hope someone was listening. The connection was a permanent, direct neurological link to the mind of God. This was the crown of human existence, the absolute assurance of divine presence. But as human flesh
Ballad
degraded,
lines.
and as our lifespans were slashed to 120
So many
years,
lines.
the human heart became hardened. The neurological and spiritual pathways that allowed for direct communion atrophied. The link was severed. This is the reason the Book of Enoch was so aggressively suppressed by later institutional authorities. When humanity lost its direct link to the Creator, a massive power vacuum opened up on Earth. If humans could no longer speak directly to God, they needed intermediaries, priests, temples, popes, councils, and institutional hierarchies to tell them what God was saying. The organized religions of the ancient world realized that if they could control the access point to the divine, they could control the entire human race. The Book of Enoch reveals that this isolation is unnatural. Enoch himself bypassed
They control the access to the divine. They could control the entire human race. Has that not occurred?
You know what these people look like, Jennifer?
These people in this picture here?
Yeah. What do they look like to you?
Like people I run into in the corner deli?
Yes, institutional. Like, exactly and precisely, Jennifer. They look like people you run into at the corner deli when you're getting a bagel. Bagels are delicious. What the fuck are you laughing at?
I love it. I can't have bagels though because I'm on.
Because we're on low carb now. No more bagels. No more bagels.
I can have a nice kosher, like beef of some kind.
You can have a hot dog.
Yeah.
You can have a kosher hot dog.
Kosher hot dog that's circumcised.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Realized that if they could control the access point to the divine, they could control the entire human race. The Book of Enoch reveals that this isolation is unnatural. Enoch himself bypassed the entire earthly priesthood. He didn't go to a temple or ask a human priest for permission. He was taken up, transformed by the archangel, and stood face to face with the Lord of Spirits, learning the profound secrets of the universe directly. Free Enoch even records how Enoch was clothed in a majestic robe of luminaries and transformed into Metatron, the prince of the divine presence, proof that the human soul can regain its lost glory. The institutional church of the 4th century, at councils like Laodicea, recognized the danger of this text. If the masses read Enoch and realized that their current state of spiritual isolation was a temporary downgrade, that they didn't actually need a corrupt earthly priesthood to access the divine, the institutions would lose all their wealth, power, and control. So they called Enoch a myth and buried it. They told the masses that the 66-book canon was all they would ever need, and that any attempt to reclaim spiritual sight or the direct intercessory link was heresy, or worse,
it was
witchcraft.
Heresy.
This is the greatest.
We're gonna burn you at the stake as a fucking witch if you say that you are divinely connected to God.
Which is why they had to get rid of paganism and pagans, because that is exactly what we believed. We have a direct connect. For some reason, I still need to do a deep dive, and I have tried. I've done this a little bit. By the time the internet came around, I wasn't doing as much research into my own spirituality as I was before, when I was looking things up in books and things.
You had to do it the hard way.
I did have to do it the hard way. I read shit. I did a lot of manual research. But I was thinking about this today. I'm like, I saw a video about the pagan Germanic tribes, and I was like, oh, those were the last of the old ones. and right before the Roman Empire swept north. And even they didn't take out all of them. But the very last pagan tribes were in Ireland. The Celts were the very last ones to hold on. They got everybody else. They did it through the Vikings, and they came down through Russia, and they swept west. And the freaking Catholic Church wiped out the connection to God that people had through ancient art, ancient magic, ancient ritual, all of that stuff. Like, there were so many of us that had it, and I want to do, and all the writings are gone. And this thing that occurred to me today. I was like, where do we get modern paganism from? And I remember I had researched this already, but now I'm ready to refresh and do a new hot take on it. Like, modern paganism is such a mishmash of Celtic paganism with Druidic and Viking paganism. But what about the old Germanic tribes? What about Mongolian paganism? They had some beautiful spiritual beliefs. There's so many other, like, I feel like I need to go back and re-delve into the world of paganism, because I'm starting to wonder modern paganism. And this has been a thought that's been bothering me for many, many years, is just another replacement for Christianity. Especially, I feel that way about Gardnerians. You know what I mean, Gardnerians. Love you, but
the fuck is a Gardnerian?
Gardnerian pagans are very strict. They're like the Catholics of the pagans. They have set of rules. They have a set of ways. These things have to be on your altar, or you're not a true pagan. These things have to be in your house, or you're not a true pagan.
You're not a real libertarian if you don't do X, Y, B, and Z.
Yeah, okay. Like, they're very, very strict about everything. They're very rule oriented, and you would think I would love that. However, I am very free-willed and free-minded, and I don't like people telling me this is how we're interpreting God for you, because I already went through that with the Christians. I don't need that here. So I'm very interested in like I've already kind of read the distillation of modern paganism, but now I want to know, like, what paganism actually was, not what it is, but what it was. That's why I like being an omniist, because I get to open up the eclectic. I'm in more of an eclectic zone with the truths of many.
This is going to be awesome once we crowdfund your mediumship school. We need to start doing the crowdfunding campaign for that. I haven't forgotten about this. We're going to I will fund your mediumship school myself, and I will recoup expenses later. I don't give a fuck. but we're basically sending Jennifer to become a medium so she can be our channel medium. And wouldn't it be cool, Jennifer?
To refine my already current skills is how.
Yes, Jennifer is already very talented, but we're going to get her specialized training so she can be the best medium that she can be for us. And then we're going to channel all sorts of dead people and spirits and stuff like that. And it's going to be awesome. And eventually we're going to work our way up to Hitler, and it's going to be the best. But wouldn't it be
It's also you can talk to Hitler, I swear to God.
Yeah, it actually is. Like, unironically, I'm like, there is an end goal. Like, Hitler, I have fucking questions, okay? I have actual questions.
What were we talking about earlier about, like, oh yeah, I have no problem taking a whole year to, like, make my goal happen, or 2 years to make my goal happen. You were just saying that we were talking about big tech, and now here we are. Like, yeah.
I'm like, I need to send Jennifer to mediumship school and give her several practice rounds where she can channel whoever she wants. And eventually we'd be like, can we do Hitler now? Like, please, I've been waiting for this forever. Like, this is a whole, Jennifer, we have been doing this show for what, like a couple years now, just for this moment of you being the channel medium. It's all been working up to this for years and years. I wanted my own medium, and now I'm manifesting it, and it's you.
My one concession I need to be in a house and not in a trailer to go away for 2 weeks, because otherwise my dogs are going to be in living hell here in kennels every single day, because I won't be here.
We're gonna plan. I'm in no rush, Jennifer. We will send you to mediumship school whenever you can go to mediumship school. We will create an environment of your comfort so that you can have whatever the fuck you need to be the best medium you can be. I will crowdfund whatever I fucking need to. Oh yeah, you're now being invited on Big Tech Stream. No, he can get his own fucking psychic. No, he needs to get his own psychic. He can't have my psychic.
That's not one of his people actually being serious.
It is. Well, no. I don't know if he's being serious, but that is one of his people actually. But so back to the show, not the Pisces.
I've seen that comment room, and unless those little children learn how to behave like actual human beings, I will not put one little white toe on his stream.
We are not sending Jennifer into the realm of the toxic based
The
like,
wolves.
you know, like ridiculous
No, those guys
cult
are
that he has created
ruthless.
around himself.
He
No.
already made fun
No.
of me once. And thank you. No.
No.
Yeah,
Gotta go find his own psychic.
if
If
he wants a reading from me, he can contact me personally.
And pay her money, double her normal fee.
Oh,
at
well,
least.
I wouldn't do that, but
You should do that. You should. Anyway, wouldn't it be cool if you could like channel like one of like the Celtic pagans or something like that? Like, what was your world like? Or like a Viking or something like that?
Yeah.
Like tell us about how paganism actually, that would actually be a fascinating episode. That'd be awesome.
I would love that. I would love to hear from the old Celts, the old Vikings, the old Germanic tribes, because I know I have roots in the old Germanic tribes. That was my first inkling. Where does my soul come from? And I remember Germanic tribe. And then I started having past life memories with a friend of mine who I knew at the time, and we started recollecting together. So one thing is, if you've had past lives with someone and you're both open to it, once you kind of get together, it's like the energy bolsters the other, and you start remembering more clearly. And one says, what about this? You go, oh my God, yes. And then you say, what about that? And they go, oh yeah. And then this. And it's like you start telling the story together. It's almost like if you got really drunk the night before and the next morning you're trying to piece together what happened, and then the memory, you start, oh, okay, I remember what happened now. And that's kind of how it was with the two of us. He was a dear friend of mine. We had many battles together in the old tribes, so it was very cool.
Tragedy of the modern human, walking around in dying bodies, deaf to the earth, blind to the angels, cut off from the heavens, whispering into the dark and hoping God hears us, surviving on a deeply corrupted operating system, manipulated by unseen forces that feed on our ignorance. But what if the link wasn't destroyed? What if it was just dormant? The story of the Book of Enoch isn't a story of permanent defeat, it's a diagnosis. If you go to a doctor and they refuse to tell you what disease you have, you can never be cured. For 2,000 years, institutional authorities have refused to tell humanity what's actually wrong with us. They've sold us a narrative of slow, upward progress, ignoring the fact that we're walking through a spiritual wasteland, stripped of the very tools we were designed to wield. You are not evolving. You are a localized, highly restricted iteration of a once luminous being. The garment of light, the universal resonance, the unending lifespan, the spiritual sight, the dimensional authority, and the direct communion with the Creator were all taken from us. But Enoch proved that the biological firewall can be bypassed. The text exists to show us that the extraction of these abilities isn't our final state. The anointing of light that Enoch received is the same restoration promised to those who refuse to bow to the corrupted systems of this world. The real question isn't whether humanity will continue to degrade. It's what you're going to do with the fragmented pieces of the system you have left. Because the unseen war that began on Mount Hermon is reaching its climax. The entities that stripped our authority are actively preparing for their final deception. And this connects to something even bigger that most people completely miss when reading the prophetic timelines. There's a specific reason why the coming Antichrist system is powerless against a very specific group of people. The Book of Enoch actually outlines exactly who these people are and why their genetics and spiritual signatures make them untouchable by the coming beast system. If you want to know what that protective signature is and how to ensure you have it, click on this video right here. The Book of Enoch says the Antichrist
that might
can't...
be. I have that picked out, but I don't remember what the next one is, honestly.
The Book of Enoch says the Antichrist can't touch it. Maybe we can come back to that one.
Yeah. What is
the next one? And this is the final one that Jennifer and I suggest. Actually, this will probably be good to like end the show. Honestly,
yeah.
This is the Book of Enoch says the second coming was misunderstood. Here's what comes back. All right, part 3. Let's go.
Closely at the ancient Ethiopian manuscript on your screen. What you're seeing is not a gentle prophet floating down on a soft white cloud to whisper words of peace. It's an interlocking, multi-dimensional machine of burning fire, covered in thousands of unblinking eyes, tearing through stormy skies to shatter the corrupt power structures of the earth. This is the image the institutional church spent 1600 years trying to keep out of your hands. For centuries, Western Christianity has sold a sanitized fairy tale version of the Second Coming, a passive bedtime story shaped by Roman councils to keep congregations docile and obedient. But the 81-book canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved the middle chapters of the Book of Enoch, and those chapters describe a cosmic reality that rewrites how we should think about the end times. By the end of this video, you'll see the uncensored descriptions of the non-human entities returning to this realm and the identity of the figure leading them into battle. None of it makes sense until you trace how this single ancient text was stripped from your Bible. To understand why the Second Coming got sanded down into a harmless theological concept, look at what happened in the 4th century. When the Roman Empire adopted Christianity as a state-sponsored religion under Emperor Constantine, the newly centralized church hierarchy had a problem. It needed a standardized scriptural narrative, one that validated earthly authority, reinforced the power of bishops, and kept believers looking to the institutional
Wait, pause.
Nope.
circulating widely among.
Go ahead. What?
Why did the Emperor of Rome adopt Christianity?
I don't know.
Does anybody in the chat know?
Does anyone in the chat know? The hierarchy. Yeah, capitalism.
Well,
Is capitalism the answer?
not wrong, not totally wrong. So that's definitely part of it. So the Christian church had become so powerful that Rome was losing the battle with the riots. Sound familiar?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't
So
sound
they were-
familiar at all. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
I have no
about.
idea. Like history
Yeah.
totally does not repeat itself ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So the because Rome was polytheistic. Greek Rome, everybody knows Greek Rome. They polytheistic, many gods. They even had temples to the unknown god, just in case they didn't want to offend a god they didn't know. A lot of immigration came in bringing new gods. Everybody went fine. Everybody's got gods. Woo, the gods. And then Christianity went, no, we're right. You're wrong. It's only one God. It's only Jesus. It's a all of you are wrong. And we're going to have such a fit that we're going to burn your fucking shit down. And that's what they did. They had a temper tantrum all across Rome. And Constantine was losing power.
Christians had a temper tantrum, Jennifer. That would
they would
never
do that.
The
They
Christians would never have an unnecessary temper tantrum while trying to control literally everyone else around them ever.
Yeah. So so Rome was losing power. Constantine's emperorship was being questioned. New rivals were rising up to take power, and to regain his power, he went, okay, how do we do this? Let's make Christianity the religion of Rome so we can maintain power. And what did they do?
See, the Christians got their way with the hissy fit too. That's the fucking problem, is they were given into
Yep.
like children.
Well, they weren't fought back against, first of all. They weren't reprimanded like children, like the children they were acting as. They were not being reprimanded. They were not being called to the unlawful conduct that they were displaying. Also sound familiar?
Yeah.
They were getting away with it. They were trying to be tolerant. And so finally it got so bad that Rome had to go, we need to deal with this by embracing the ideology. Instead of, fuck off, this is not how Rome does shit, quit it, everybody out of the pool, or if you don't like it, get the fuck out. No. They went, you've let it go on for too long. It's gone on too long. There are too many of them now. We have to do something. We have to come to some kind of treatise with them. So they went and they picked out, what did we do? A new government. They reshaped the government of Rome into the Holy Roman Church, effectively. Constantine was baptized on the night he died. He was not a Christian. He did not accept Jesus into his soul. He didn't do any of the little steps. He did the physical steps so that the Christians could say, we had a Christian emperor. See, even the emperor became a Christian. He wasn't baptized because he found the light or because he loved Jesus or God or any of that. He did it because he was politically threatened and he needed to save his country. Because Christians were threatening that, and they did it with political power. They didn't do it through loving conversion. They didn't do it through their words like, hey,
you don't say.
Yeah.
You don't say, it's not a genuine expression of righteousness or morality or anything like that. You don't say, Jennifer.
What are some of the chants that we hear these days?
From the left or from the Christians? I don't even
from
know.
The left. What are some of the chants we hear from the left?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no when I was in the autonomous zone, I have to fucking find this video. When I was in the autonomous zone and I was surrounded by the group of BLM supporters, do you remember this? Like, they were all pointing their cameras at me and I was pointing my camera at them. They started chanting that and I started chanting along with them, and they got so fucking pissed. I was like, ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. And they're like, she's making fun of us. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm using your chant.
Doing with you, man. I'm one of you, right? Yeah, we're all jamming here. So think of that, but it ain't no power like the power of Jesus, because the power of Jesus don't stop. So imagine that's what they were doing. They were terrorists in Rome that pushed Rome far enough that they changed the entire government into the Holy Roman Empire to keep political power in sync with Christianity. And I find that there's a parallel that can be struck with what's going on. Yeah, exactly, Reagan. Exactly. I find that there is a very interesting parallel that can be struck, be it non-religious, but it still is culty, with the Marxist and the socialist agenda. Even though it's not like Christianity Mach 2, it's still cultish, and they're doing the same tricks that the Christians pulled in Rome. And they're winning in many places because they're not getting arrested. They're not getting thrown out. The people who are invading, I don't know who they would be, but people who aren't necessarily here legally are coming in and saying, we're going to get away with all this stuff and take all this money, and nobody is stopping them. Doesn't matter what Nick Shirley has done or anybody else has done. Everyone's letting him happen. Let it happen. Come on in. Take your money. It's fine.
Yep.
We want to dismantle this shit anyway. Nothing is being done. And at some point, the Holy Roman Empire, the Roman Empire of America, is going to become the Holy Roman Empire of socialism because of this.
True.
Nobody is standing up to them. Like the emperor of fucking Rome did not stand up to the Christians. And it doesn't matter who's wrong or right. What matters is that fuckery was afoot and fuckery was given into and fuckery won. And it changed the world. Now everybody believes. Or at least it's part of your internal lexicon. There isn't a person in the world that if you say Jesus saves, they don't know what you're talking about. Everybody knows that. Everybody.
That's wild to really think about that, because when you think about the implications of just a group of fucking low IQ midwit retards, like causing a lot of problems, and then the person in power giving into them and saying, okay, well, you win, here you go. And then they go, yay, we win. And then all of a sudden, you know, thousands of years later, their ideology has literally permeated every single aspect of human life. And then you start to realize the retards really do run the world. And we're just totally fucked, honestly.
This became the first example of the barbarians winning from within. And that's what's going to happen here. That's what's happening in Europe right now, in England specifically.
Is Power Chat on? I can turn it on. I can turn it on. It won't flash on the screen, but I can turn it on and look at it.
Like, I can see it on the screen. I don't know if that's what
no. Power Chat is a way to super chat that's like outside of the YouTube system. And I don't really use it that much anymore, but sometimes people ask to use it. Okay, owls are cool. Owls are cool. I got the Power Chat up so I can see if you send something in, if you want to.
Early Christian communities was a text with enormous popularity and spiritual authority. The first book of Enoch. Why was this book so dangerous to Rome? Because First and Enoch did not portray divine judgment as a distant, abstract legal proceeding managed by priests. It portrayed an unstoppable cosmic intervention that directly targeted the kings, the governors, the high officials, and the landlords of the earth. It stated plainly that corrupt earthly rulers who traded in dark, forbidden knowledge would be dragged from their thrones and destroyed by celestial forces. This was not fringe literature. The Apostle Jude quoted the book of Enoch directly in the New Testament. In Jude chapter 1, verses 14 and 15, citing Enoch's prophecy of the Lord coming with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment on the wicked. The earliest and most revered church fathers, Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Tertullian, and Clement of Alexandria, quoted Enoch as inspired, authoritative scripture. Tertullian wrote that those who rejected the Book of Enoch did so only because it prophesied too accurately against their own corruption. But as the Roman institutional hierarchy tightened its grip on political and religious power, theologians like Jerome and Augustine pushed to demote and suppress apocalyptic literature. A text that told believers to expect an immediate earth-shaking reckoning was bad for the long-term stability of the church-state alliance. By the late 4th century, during the period surrounding the Council of Laodicea and the regional synods that followed, Enoch was branded apocrypha, a Greek word that literally means hidden away, and it was pulled from Western reading lists and scriptural canons. Centuries later, the Protestant Reformation inherited this truncated Roman framework, leaving modern Western believers with a 66-book Bible that lacked the eschatological blueprint known to the apostles. But while Roman authorities were burning manuscripts and enforcing the Latin Vulgate across Europe, an isolated ancient Christian kingdom in the Horn of Africa did not go along with it. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, one of the oldest continuous Christian communities on earth, kept the entire Enochic corpus alive in their liturgical language of Ge'ez. They preserved an 81-book scriptural canon that held onto something Western councils were unwilling to admit.
Yo, we got a power chat from Owls Are Cool. Let me bring it over here so I can actually read that. I wonder what the world would be like today if Emperor Julian got his way and was able to kick out Christianity. Although his version of paganism was different from pagan populace, would Jews have power, and how naive Americans been more and would naive Americans been more accepted? What do you think, Jennifer? Do you have an opinion on that?
If Julian had got his way and kept the Christians out?
Yeah.
I mean, every decision like that changes the world, doesn't it? It's like, what if Hitler won? You know, I'm not comparing Julian.
What if indeed? What? It would be horrible, obviously, because Hitler was the worst person ever, and the Holocaust was the worst event in humanity.
Yes. I think, again, that is the kind of question that I love because of the repercussions insinuated. And it also depends upon, if not him, someone else. You know, if it wasn't Julian, it could have been someone else. But if I don't know, leaders actually enforce their own fucking laws ever, how different the world would be anyway. Just saying.
If anyone did anything from a genuine place of actually being of service to humanity, how different would the world be? Instead, we get all these fucking control freaks in positions of power, and they just fuck everything up.
What if they just didn't hide anything ever, and we always all grew up knowing the entire history of humanity all the way back to Atlantis?
Yeah,
and, you know, I mean, imagine if the people in control weren't controlling us through ignorance, but allowing us to have our own control through knowledge, which is where we were supposed to go in the first place. But no. I mean,
we have to go through cycle after cycle until we figure this shit out and undo all the damage that's been done.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's kind of like if you look at the microcosm, that's a macrocosm. The microcosm is us. How do we stand up for ourselves? How do we find our own boundaries and limitations? How do we go, nope, enough is enough, and cut that shit off? That's a bad relationship. That's bad energy. I don't need that anymore. Or these are my rules. These are my boundaries. And each of us have those things. Some of them let it get pushed. Some of us give in. And then finally we get to that point where we're like, no more bullshit. We're done. And, you know, in the macrocosm, humanity hasn't quite figured that out yet. We're still letting the abusive boyfriend mess up, like beat us around a little bit because we like how he fucks at night. That's exactly what's happening still.
It's not worth it. Not worth it.
But they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Enoch mattered for understanding the end times. For over a millennium, Western scholars dismissed the Ethiopian text of 1st and Enoch as a late medieval forgery, a corrupted compilation written by confused monks long after the time of Jesus. That claim fell apart in the spring of 1947. Bedouin shepherds in the Judean wilderness stumbled into Cave 4 at Qumran, near the shores of the Dead Sea, and out of the dust came fragments of 11 ancient Aramaic manuscripts of the Book of Enoch. Scrolls 4Q204, 4Q208, and 4Q212 were run through paleographic and radiocarbon analysis, and the results dated these Enochic manuscripts to the 3rd and 2nd centuries before Christ. The Dead Sea Scrolls confirmed what the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had said all along. The Book of Enoch was an authentic pre-Christian text that shaped the theology, vocabulary, and worldview of Jesus and his disciples. We'll get to the celestial forces and the mechanics of the return, described in the suppressed middle chapters of this text soon. First, it helps to understand a structural flaw in how modern Christians are taught to read the Book of Revelation without its Enochic foundation. Strip the Book of Enoch out of the biblical library, and the Book of Revelation stops being a clear prophetic map. It becomes a confusing collage of symbols. Because Western pastors lack the Enochic vocabulary, they invent modern interpretations to explain away ancient realities. That gap is part of what gave birth.
Go ahead.
As I was kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive where they're actually reading the Book of Enoch, and and in fact, sidestep, that channel that we love that did the Anunnaki stuff that we adored also has the Book of Enoch translation that's like 3 hours long, and it is great. But anyway, the Book of Enoch has not only the Genesis story, the Nephilim, and the flood. It also has Revelations, the lake of fire, the beast. It's like like I said, if you just took Genesis and Revelations and went, "This is what really happened." That's the Book of Enoch. It was really spooky. I was like, I thought Revelations was supposed to have been a vision given to, I think it was John, or I'm not entirely sure. It might have been John or Paul, but I think it was John, one of the Beatles. And
John,
but actually
Paul,
it was Enoch. Ringo maybe. But it was actually from Enoch. It's almost direct, beat for beat, from the Book of Enoch. And so somebody who said, "Oh no, I had this vision," actually was plagiarizing the Book of Enoch.
You don't say. The person who wrote the Bible plagiarized it from something else. You don't say.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It wasn't actually a vision or a prophecy. It was just plagiarism. You don't say, madam.
I do say.
In the 19th century, to the passive doctrine of the secret rapture, the idea that modern believers will be quietly whisked away into the clouds so they don't have to witness the transformation of the earth. It's a theology of evacuation, and it trains believers to sit in their pews, waiting for an emergency airlift, while ignoring the corruption of the world around them. Reinsert the ancient Ethiopian Enoch into its rightful place, and that passive theology falls apart. Enoch describes the second coming not as an evacuation of the weak, but as a cosmic invasion, the reclamation of a hijack.
I actually made a trans Jesus image like several years ago, and I really expected the Christians to be more pissed off about it, and I was actually really depressed that they were not. I was really depressed. It was unfair.
Yell at me. Why aren't you yelling?
It was I released it on some high holy day too, and I forget exactly which one it was, but I put it out there on a day when it was supposed to trigger them the most, and it barely got any attention. I was so fucking mad.
Like Easter or something.
Yeah, I was like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely a beat
the day when they all had the ash on their head or something.
Oh, that's Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something.
Planet. And in the section of the text that Roman authorities feared most, the Book of Parables, spanning chapters 37 through 71, the entities set to break through are so alien to Sunday school Christianity that most modern believers...
That would shock the crap out of me.
No, he's not. He was pretending not even to know who Bashar was a year ago when we were talking about Bashar. No, you're so full of shit. And if he is friends with Bashar, that's just all the more proof that I of everything I've been saying, which is that he knows all this spiritual shit.
Wait a minute. Bashar or the guy who channels Bashar?
Well, yeah, that's actually a good question.
Dude, get your shit straight.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't. What's his name? What's his name? I'm gonna go back and look at. I'm gonna go fucking back and look at his stream later, and I'm gonna see if he's googling or anything. What's his last name?
Bro, yeah, Reagan.
What's his last name?
And his other brother, Daryl.
Oh, someone Googled very quickly. Someone Googled very well. We
He's
do
like,
know that.
shit, who channels Bashar?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we do know that Big Tech has been watching Bashar secretly while pretending not to know who he is. So
is he friends with Bashar or friends with Daryl Anka? Because if he's friends with Bashar, you're telling us Big Tech actually is channeling himself, which takes him to a whole new level.
That's true. He can't be friends with Bashar. He can only be friends with the person who channels him.
I'm sorry, sir, but you do not know with who you are fucking.
Yeah. Okay. Then why did he pretend he didn't know who Bashar was like a year ago on his own stream? Stop interrupting our fucking show. Leave us alone.
Stop giving him
Wouldn't
attention.
recognize them as divine at all.
Although I would have too.
Look again at the left side of our thumbnail at those massive intersecting rings of fire hovering over the ruined pillars of human civilization, because according to the uncensored text of 1st and Enoch, this is the actual vanguard of the end times. In traditional Western religious art, angels show up as gentle, Renaissance-era humans with swan wings, dressed in flowing white silk, playing harps on fluffy clouds. That artistic habit was not an accident. Strip the celestial host of its terrifying, incomprehensible power, and you reduce the creator of the universe to a safe, manageable patron of the Roman state, and you make the spiritual realm feel soft and non-threatening to earthly kings. But open the Ethiopic book of parables, specifically chapters 61 and 71, and read Enoch's account.
He keeps his identity private. Everyone and their fucking mother who follows Bashar knows that he is channeled by Daryl Anka.
No, I think he's talking about Big Tech. Like his personal stuff, personal, private.
No,
I could be wrong.
Big Tech is not Big Tech's identity is not private either. I know exactly who Big Tech is, and everyone fucking knows because it's all over that website that he doesn't want me to name. So no, it's not for that. No, he's so full of shit.
Nice try.
Throne of judgment, and that image falls away fast. What's left is an architecture of vibrating terror. The seraphim, the cherubim, and the ophanim. Who or what are the ophanim? To understand them, connect the Ethiopian text of Enoch to another misunderstood vision. The prophet Ezekiel's encounter by the Chebar River in Ezekiel.
Also, in the unlikely event that this is actually true, he has denounced his previous spiritual life and has blocked it out of his existence, so he's not allowed to claim it anymore. I don't make the rules.
Ezekiel chapter 1 and the Dead Sea Scroll liturgical fragments known as the Songs of the Sabbath Sacrifice, SRO 4Q405. In these Hebrew and Aramaic texts, the ophanim are not humanoids with wings. The word ophanim literally translates to wheels, or more precisely, the spinning ones of burning fire. Enoch describes them as an order of celestial beings who never sleep, standing eternal guard around the throne of the Creator. Picture what the ancient seers were trying to describe with the limited vocabulary of the agrarian ancient world.
Yeah,
I'm sure
this image in particular is completely biblically accurate right there. I'm sure this isn't it.
It's probably closer to what you might think. No, actually, I have seen some renditions of them, and there is actually a video that talks about how they got AI to like recognize the biblical description and come up with the image. It's actually really fascinating. I want to see that video. I just haven't been in the mood for it, but yeah, I have seen. It's crazy.
Wait, are there actually videos of like a more accurate biblical description of angels?
What angels actually look like in the Bible, and not the people in robes with wings. They look more like this, but covered with eyeballs and shit. It's woof. Yeah,
like this, or this ring of fire.
It's not the fire so much. It's like
this.
Yeah, so like the dude down there with the 4 heads, that is described.
Oh, like this.
That's one of the guys that's described. Yeah.
Yo.
And then like others, like they have many heads that look in many directions, and then there's some that have like eyes, like a ring of eyes, all the way around, and like there's all because they are seeing in all directions, and There's all kinds of weird shit. Yeah.
It's like in one of my favorite, I don't know if they ever made a real movie of it, but they made like this mini series on the Sci-Fi Channel of like, what is it? At Childhood's End, on Childhood's End. It's
Childhood's End. Yeah.
Childhood's End. It's some sort of famous sci-fi book, but like
Arthur C.
I've read
Clarke.
like I've read like part of the book, but I like really liked the miniseries. And the whole part of the like the first part of that is basically aliens come to Earth, but they refuse to get off their ship for like 50 years. And everyone knows that they're there and they're like helping out humanity and they're giving them technology and all that. And they're basically communicating with like this one guy as their representative because they didn't think that humanity was ready to see what they were visually. And then like, 200 years later or however long it was, like a really long time where
one generation had to die out.
Yeah, so they like built up trust with humanity. So you know more like they built up trust with humanity, and everyone loved the technology.
They
and blah,
cured
blah, blah.
their diseases. They were able to do farming. They introduced robots that could do everything, so humans could live a life of leisure. And yeah.
And then they finally revealed themselves, and they look like the Christian version of the devil. Yeah. It's like the same thing with this. It's like, if that thing revealed itself as an angel, Christians would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, they would. Well, and they said, we tried this before and we did it wrong and we scared the crap out of people. And that's why now you have all this iconography of us, this iconography of devils, because it literally was our people that they went, oh my God, it's an evil spirit, because we were able to do magic, which was science. But in the medieval times, people couldn't accept it, right? So, and it goes along with what who was it that said was in oh my God, I just lost my the dude that made the electricity out of air. Oh my God. But he said something like if technology was advanced enough, it would look like magic, and that's basically a Tesla. He said that, I believe. And so that's what Arthur C. Clarke was borrowing from, as they brought technology. Earth was too primitive. They were too fucked up in Christianity. And they went, oh my God, devils. And they become the devil iconography for all of time, which is why they had to wait for a whole generation to die out so they could reprogram that our image is not evil. But they did show themselves to the one human contact. They showed themselves once, and that's where you got the description. And then when he died, and everybody else, they finally came forward and nobody had a problem with it.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. I see the Rumble rant. I was going to get to Kimmy. Kimmy, thank you so much for the Rumble rant. I appreciate it. I'm going to watch on TV. Thank you, Karlyn, for this stream. I got to work at 5:30 a.m. Holy shit. That's pretty early. I'm sorry to hear that.
Bad, dude.
Yo, seriously. All right. Yeah. So angels look like demons, and if Christians actually knew what they look like, that would be I would be interested to watch that video about like what angels actually look like.
I'll see what I can find. Like I'll take some notes, because like we had a couple of really good ideas and it's good because sometimes I get a little dry in the head, like what are we gonna do next? So I'll write down like what do angels really look like, because there's been one of those. What was the other thing we were talking about? Angels really look like, and then the history of hell by that other channel. History.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, hell by channel. I'm not going to understand this note in the morning from DISENRAGE last night. Okay.
Jennifer is being a Capricorn right now.
I totally am.
Taking notes. Can you imagine doing such a thing? Taking fucking notes. W. Kimmy, thanks so much for the channel membership. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you.
Or more precisely, the spinning ones of burning fire. Enoch describes them as an order of celestial beings who never sleep, standing eternal guard around the throne of the Creator. Picture what the ancient seers were trying to describe with the limited vocabulary of the agrarian ancient world. Two gigantic, nested wheels intersecting at right angles, a gyroscopic, sphere-like structure of burning energy. Why intersecting wheels? A normal wheel can only roll forward or backward. An intersecting gyroscopic wheel structure can move instantly in any of the four cardinal directions without turning, without losing momentum, and without changing its orientation. Then comes the detail that's hardest to picture. The rims of these wheels are covered in thousands of unblinking, living eyes. In ancient Near Eastern symbolism, and in the visionary experiences of Enoch and Ezekiel, eyes represent surveillance, intelligence, and the impossibility of deception. The second book of Enoch Chapters 20 and 21 calls them the many-eyed ones, radiating a heat and a frequency so intense that mortal matter cannot endure their presence without being transformed or vaporized. In the text, they're described as the ones sent to dismantle the corrupted hierarchies established over the planet by the fallen Watchers. Most Christians today are taught that the second coming begins with a trumpet blast, followed by a peaceful descent of Jesus in white robes to rescue his followers from trouble.
That seems likely.
The Ethiopian parables describe something closer to a multi-stage collision. Before the sovereign judge touches the earth, the atmosphere has to be broken open by these beings, the Ophanim, the cherubim, and the seraphim of fire. Their function isn't comfort. It's the disruption of earthly power.
Before the second coming, we're going to get the sky broken open by the seraphim of power.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. Okay. That's not.
Well, if you know
that's
anything
not
about Revelation, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have to come, you know, Satan is loosed upon the earth to like reign, to like do whatever he wants to do for 1,000 years. And then like the second coming is basically to warn the chosen people to go find a place of safety so they can ride out the tribulation. Once the tribulation is over, Satan goes in a hole, and then Jesus takes the throne.
The dismantling of corrupt institutions and the binding of the spiritual entities that have manipulated humanity since the days of Noah. Picture the scale of it. The visible sky replaced by spinning, interlocking wheels of fire, an intelligence that sees through every facade built by the world's power structures. When church councils stripped the Book of Enoch from the scriptural canon, they weren't just removing an old document. They were removing a terrifying, awe-inspiring reckoning that held rulers accountable and replacing it with a passive waiting room where believers hope to be evacuated before the real fight begins. And that leads to the most suppressed mystery in the Enochic text, the identity of the figure riding on these wheels of fire, a revelation that early church theologians reportedly found alarming enough to bury. Because when the heavens tear open and the many-eyed Ophanim descend, they're not coming alone. They're escorting a figure the Book of Enoch calls by a specific title, one that echoed through every gospel in the New Testament, though its deeper meaning has stayed largely hidden from the general public for nearly 2,000 years. Here is the piece the Council of Laodicea and the Roman editors reportedly wanted buried. The second coming is not simply the return of an external historical figure to punish the wicked and reward the passive. It centers on a pre-existent figure named in the Ethiopian Ge'ez manuscripts as Walda Saba, the Son of Man. Ask the average Christian today why Jesus of Nazareth kept calling himself the Son of Man in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and
the
John,
Son of God.
And they'll usually say it was a way of expressing his humility, a way of saying he was fully human. That explanation misses his direct reliance on the Book of Enoch. In the parables of Enoch, specifically chapters 46, 48, and 69, written long before the New Testament Gospels, Enoch is taken up into the highest heaven and shown visions of the end of the age. Standing beside the deity known as the Head of Days or the Lord of Spirits, Enoch sees a pre-existent, glorious being. He asks the interpreting angel who this is. The angel answers, the Son of Man, the Chosen One, the anointed righteous one who existed before the sun and stars were created, who sits on a throne of glory, and who holds the power to judge the earth. Stop and sit with that. When Jesus of Nazareth walked the roads of first century Judea and said, "The Son of Man will come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, and he will sit on his glorious throne," he was quoting the eschatological blueprint of 1st and Enoch. His first century Jewish audience and the religious authorities who eventually moved to execute him knew the Book of Enoch well. Taking the title Son of Man, Jesus was claiming to be the cosmic judge of the Enochic parables, the commander of the Ophanim, the one who destroys corrupt earthly kings. During his trial before the high priest, when Jesus used the Enochic formula of the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven, the high priest tore his robes and called it blasphemy. He recognized the Enochic prophecy. and he knew Jesus was claiming the power to overthrow their institution. Then there's the detail buried in Enoch chapter
Nobody
71
tells the Jews
that led
what to do.
19th century translators like R.H. Charles to mistranslate the Ethiopic text because it didn't fit their theological framework. In the final chapter of the parables, Enoch's visionary journey reaches its peak. He is brought into the Holy of Holies in the highest heaven, surrounded by rivers of fire and the many-eyed Ophanim. Overwhelmed, Enoch falls flat on his face, his spirit melting within him. Then an angel comes to him, takes him by the hand, lifts him to his feet, and says something that has unsettled readers ever since. You are that Son of Man who was born for righteousness, and righteousness dwells on you, and the righteousness of the head of days will not forsake you. For over a century, Western scholars struggled with this verse. How could Enoch?
What?
So Jesus is saying he's the Son of Man, which is this office of judgment. Yeah. He is not God's son.
Okay.
Because the Son of Man is a different office from the Word and from Christ consciousness.
Okay, I understand that.
I think is what's being said here.
Here, let's rewind and listen again. Let's see.
Because that's pretty fucking big, actually.
Is this about where it starts?
Well, because if you're hinging your belief in Christ and Jesus Christ on that he died for your sins, the Son of Man cannot do that. That would have then made it official, a myth perpetrated by the Catholic Church. Yeah. Which is kind of what I think anyway, but I mean, what the fuck do I know?
Let's listen.
Fit their theological framework. In the final chapter of the parables, Enoch's visionary journey reaches its peak. He is brought into the Holy of Holies in the highest heaven, surrounded by rivers of fire and the many-eyed Ophanim. Overwhelmed, Enoch falls flat on his face, his spirit melting within him. Then an angel comes to him, takes him by the hand, lifts him to his feet, and says something that has unsettled readers ever since. You are that Son of Man who was born for righteousness, and righteousness dwells on you, and the righteousness of the head of days will not forsake you. For over a century, Western scholars struggled with this verse. How could Enoch, a mortal human patriarch, be identified as the cosmic Son of Man? Some claimed a piece of the manuscript was lost.
Yeah, we got another power chat from Owls Are Cool. Let me read this. Hang on. If you're looking for more topics to cover, I would highly recommend Native American culture. I mean, that's actually probably a good point. Specifically, the Navajo Traditional Teachings YouTube channel. Okay, let me just take a picture of this so I can remember it later. And I think you may take interest in their video in Two-Spirit and how it isn't in their native beliefs. I would be very interested in that video indeed. Thank you for suggesting it. I really appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a lot of Native American indigenous stuff we can cover at some point. Like, I mean, that would be like, you know, a whole bunch of shows.
Only if we do a land prayer first.
Yeah, got to do a land blessing.
Yeah.
True.
So I think now what I'm seeing now that I'm really being scrutinized, it looks like they're saying Enoch is the Son of Man. But now he's going to get into Jesus because Jesus calls himself the Son of Man. So let's see how that translates. Because Enoch becomes Metatron. So he is not the... So, okay, so I feel like... Well, okay, so who the fuck is the Son of Man here?
We'll have to get Amalek to explain it when he has time.
Yeah, he might be able to do that. Mansplain it.
A scribal error.
Yeah, he's going to mansplain it.
What the Ethiopic text seems to point to instead is that Enoch's journey from an ordinary human to the exalted Son of Man works as a template for the spiritual transformation of righteous humanity. In the Enochic worldview, the term Son of Man, Bar Enosh in Aramaic, carries a double meaning. It refers to the sovereign messianic judge who rules the cosmos, and it also refers to the restored state of human consciousness. What returns at the second coming is not only an external savior doing all the work while humanity watches. The return is described as a convergence. The Lord of Spirits descends with the wheels of fire to dismantle corrupted systems and judge those who have destroyed the earth. and at the same time that breakthrough triggers an awakening within the righteous. In this reading, believers are not passive rescue victims, but are called to step into their role as co-heirs and co-regents of the restored cosmos, clothed in righteousness and light. That reframes the end times narrative, less fear and helplessness, more a mandate for spiritual authority and preparation. When you look at the chaos of the modern world, the geopolitical conflicts, the spiritual decay, the power structures that seem untouchable, it's worth remembering that the suppression of the Book of Enoch made all of that feel more permanent than it has to. Stripping the cosmic reality of the second coming out of the Bible turned divine justice into a distant, passive dream. But the Ge'ez manuscripts preserved in Ethiopia and the fragments pulled from the caves of Qumran stand as a witness across millennia, the wheels of burning fire, the sovereignty of the Lord of Spirits, and a return that is not an evacuation of the weak, but the dismantling of earthly corruption and the exaltation of those who carry the truth. The real question isn't whether the skies will part and the Ophanim will descend. It's whether you're paying attention when the veil comes down. This channel exists.
Jennifer, guess what? We can continue talking about this. I thought that was a really interesting video. Elon Musk has a rocket launching in 4 minutes. Do you want to watch the rocket launch before we conclude the show?
Ooh, sure.
Actually, like less than 3 minutes now. Look at this. Rocket
Very
launch.
cool. Ooh.
Rocket launch.
I love how people are like, what good are billionaires? What do billionaires ever do but sleep in their money? And I'm like, space travel?
Yeah. That's a
You
good call,
know?
Melinda. Thank you for letting me know about this.
Yeah, thanks.
Majestic rocket launch in the middle of the night. Look at all the... This is like actually very cool, honestly.
Now, what is this rocket for?
I have no idea.
Somebody tell us where this rocket is going and what it's for.
Someone give us some context.
Are we
what
going to
majestic thing
market?
are we doing in space? See, now I want to watch Project Hail Mary.
Are there
again.
people in there? Is it a people launch or a probe launch or a satellite launch? Like, who's in there?
Stage 2, lock float is complete.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to go to space and do what it does, Jennifer. Don't worry about it. No people, just a satellite.
Ground gas closeouts.
Tuesday night, 100th mission of 2026. Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, SpaceX to launch Complex 4. The Falcon 9 rocket carried 24 Starlink broadband internet satellites. Whee!
Yeah, let's go.
I love Starlink.
Jennifer's internet just got better.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Excellent.
Falcon 9 has entered startup.
It's a good use of capitalism right here.
I mean, honestly, who else could compete with the government other than a billionaire? Or a trillionaire? Didn't he just become a trillionaire?
Well, he was a trillionaire for like a week or something, and then he went back down to a...
Yeah,
he wasn't a trillionaire anymore.
I'm sure he noticed. I like all the smoke.
T minus 15 seconds.
Okay, we gotta count down.
T minus 10.
10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
I think it's slowed down there.
Yo.
Ooh, pretty, pretty,
Look
pretty.
at all the
pretty.
fire.
Aw. It looks like a sperm tail.
Vehicles pitching
A
down
little
range.
bit, yeah.
Are we
Yeah,
on the
well,
rocket?
the
Oh, we got a camera on the rocket.
That's rad.
Oh.
And then it's quiet. Quiet.
So peaceful. No people.
No talking. No internet.
No. Earth below us, drifting far.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Floating weightless, coming home. Peter Schilling.
Wow.
Ooh,
It's a giant penis in the sky. A giant
Nice.
fire stick.
very cool.
Max Q.
That could be a name of a erotic fiction, Fire Stick. It's
No,
a good name.
no.
Yeah. The Fire Stick.
Actually, I think that'd be a great name for a band. Fire Stick.
Mvac Chill.
That's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen Rocket Cam before.
It's just very peaceful, isn't it?
It
It's
kind of
very
is, and that
peaceful.
flame feels like it's getting bigger too.
Mhm.
It's like a big paw print. Ooh, we're getting some blue spectrum colors in that fire.
Ooh.
That's pretty.
Yo, it's purple. Look at that.
So pretty.
Going all the way through the chakras.
Now what are you looking at? I don't want to see
Base
this. Go back to the
cutoff.
pretty fire.
Yeah, go back.
I want to see the
Base
cables.
separation
Nobody cares
cutoff.
about the fucking cables. Ooh.
Ooh. Wait, something's happening. Oh.
It's,
Mvac Startup.
it's shedding its rocket shell thingy. What was someone had
Bearing separation
another
cutoff.
song suggestion? I love it. I like the orange ball. That's fun.
Yeah. The AI is so good. I mean, it is pretty fucking wild that we're sitting here on the internet watching a camera from space after a rocket launch. I mean, come on. That's like
Yeah.
actually pretty badass, honestly.
We've gone from big tech to tarot to the Book of Enoch to a rocket launch. I mean, only in today's society, right? Only on today's internet.
Yep. We went from psychicking a
Welcome.
retard
Yeah.
to actual productivity to now watching. I'm sure he's a very beautiful spiritual being, Jennifer. I'm sure he is. Yeah. That was a great reading, though. I mean, I got to give you probably. I feel like you handled that reading perfectly.
Oh,
I
thank
feel
you.
like he can try to be mad all he wants, but he can't be because you were much nicer to him than he damn well deserved, and he
Aw.
knows that. And you know what? Like, forget about his fucking audience. His audience is a bunch of like idiots.
I don't like his audience. I actually
No, I
like
fucking
him.
hate
think
his.
his
Everyone
audience
hates his audience. Amalek fucking hates his
Yeah.
audience. Everyone hates his audience because they're
They're
a bunch of
horrible.
like retarded idiots. Yeah.
That's why, like, dude was all, "Oh, go in. He needs a reading," and I'm like, "I'm not going in that
No.
room. There's no
No.
fucking way."
No, you should not do that. No, you should
I
definitely.
got my bullying over in
definitely.
grade school. Thank you, kids. I don't need
Yeah.
to repeat that shit now.
No. But overall, I thought that the reading was very good and very well
Yay.
done.
Thank you.
I was impressed, honestly. I was like, holy shit. Jennifer was giving me much more information than but it was all dead on with what I thought anyway and things that I've psychic. So it was good confirmation that I actually do know how to psychic and I'm not just making shit up.
Yep. Well, they caught you off guard in a couple things, so that makes me happy.
Yep. No, it was good.
But
It
no,
was
I
good.
mean, if you're in touch, you're in touch, and sometimes what you need is validation. Because you're like,
Mhm.
am I seeing the thing, or am I making the believe the thing?
Well,
Because
he
what I
tried
want
to
hear.
gaslight me because like he really doesn't like it when I throw out that I can read him, and so I do it obviously often and repeatedly just to poke him. And so he tried to gaslight me. He was like, "You're not reading me, Karlyn. You're reading a projection of me. It's your projection of me." And I was like, "You haven't said that I'm wrong." He's like, "That's not the point."
Aw, that's so cute.
Oh, bless your heart, dear. Bless your heart.
It's nice to know he cares.
Yeah, it's nice to know that he's really taken it all in and thought about it for several months before
Stage
saying
1,
anything.
FPS is safe.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
Deploy the satellites. Make movie.
Look at that fire! Holy shit, that's intense. It's like they're going through a wormhole,
Ooh,
like in Contact.
nice.
That's what it's like, though, right? That's like the end of the movie
Stage 1,
Contact when
entry burn
Jodie
second.
Foster gets dropped into the thing.
It's like a bunch of tunnels.
Mm-hmm. Speed 5,300 kilometers per hour.
I don't even know what that means.
That's wild. That is wild. All right. All right. Well, it's past midnight. Are we done watching rocket launches?
I think so.
We good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think that was a really great show, Jennifer. I really appreciate all the twists and turns of the evening. I thought it was great. I appreciate everyone donating channel memberships. We normally don't get a lot of support on DISENRAGE because we're just doing this for fun, but I do definitely appreciate you guys. And I will get Jennifer something very nice when we go to Sedona in a couple weeks. I'll buy her a nice new tarot deck or something, because, we'll get her. So we're not only going to send her to mediumship school, we're going to take care of her and make sure she's happy.
Stage 1.
That's right. That's right. Pamper the Jennifer.
Yeah. You gotta, maybe we gotta have some wine when we're in Sedona, though. First of all, because we're staying at an amazing Airbnb that has a deck that's like right under the Red Rocks, and it's just like screaming for us to sit out there with like a bottle of wine. But also,
we need dry red. Yep.
There's all sorts of like wineries around there, so we can go wine tasting and then buy the wine and then bring it back to the house.
Yes. I was like wanting so bad to come on the 9th with you, but I was like, I just can't do that to my dog.
Okay.
But I will be there on the 10th, so I'm getting my ticket. I was actually looking flights up right before we started. 4 announcements. I have announcements. So
4. Jesus.
4 as in FOR, as 4 announcements.
Oh, 4.
The
Okay.
announcements that are. This Sunday for movie night, we're ending AI August with I, Robot with Will Smith. Arguably, probably his last good movie. And Mac B doesn't have anything listed, so I'm not sure what he's doing. He's been doing concerts and shit this week, but he doesn't have anything listed. Whoops.
I think you should do Phantom of the Opera. If I were to make a suggestion, I would say Phantom of the Opera, like some performance of Phantom of the Opera. I don't know.
That'd be cool. Sure. I don't know what he's doing. He did Pink Floyd, Les Mis. He did David Bowie last night, which I missed because my friggin' parents came over for dinner, and usually they poop out by about 9:00. I'm like, perfect. I can go straight over and watch Mac B's concert. But they stayed till 10:30, which shocked the fuck out of me. So
those assholes.
I was really shocked, but I didn't get to go. But I can always watch the Glass Spider tour another time. But I don't see anything listed for next Monday, so that is on him. Maybe he has to take next Monday off. I don't know what's going on. But that's what we will be doing for movie night Sunday is I, Robot, and after that, darlings, it is my anniversary weekend, and I may actually be doing movie night because our anniversary is on a Wednesday. And husband and I have been talking about just going to a really like stupid expensive restaurant. It's our 10th. You want to mark it with something.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can't take a trip because he's in training or not training. He's in orientation right now, but his job doesn't officially start till a week from today on Tuesday. He won't be back here till Thursday, and then he has the weekend off, and then he'll be starting next Tuesday. So we can't say, oh, by the way, we need an extra day or two off the following weekend in his first week of work for our anniversary. We can't do that. And he doesn't have any vacation time yet. So we're thinking we'll be married for 10 years this whole year. We'll just celebrate that anniversary whenever we can. Like once he gets his vacation time accrued, and we'll save up some money. Maybe we'll go to Puerto Rico, which I've been trying to do since my 50th birthday party. So, but who knows? We'll figure something out. But we're just going to go to a happy, cool dinner. So I may do a movie night for the first weekend. My dad actually had a birthday request, so I may do it that Sunday. I'm not sure. I'm still working on it. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. He has a really good movie too for suggestion.
What is it?
Colossus: The Forbin Project.
That doesn't sound like a really good movie.
It is.
That sounds like a B movie.
Yeah, but because it was done in the 60s, and it is
might be
about
okay.
it is about the first AI,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about
Okay. Okay. That
it
could be
is
okay.
very good, actually.
That could be
It's
okay.
pretty fucking creepy, and there's lots of boobs in it. I was really surprised. There's lots of sex in it. I'm like, wow, okay, hello 60s.
That's why he really
Lots of
wanted his
nudity.
60s boobs. That's what's really going on.
I really don't want to talk about it. But then we're gonna be in Sedona, Arizona for the following weekend. After that, I have a special movie picked out just for you and me to come down from our Bashar high.
Mm-hmm.
I figured we should watch a movie, a really lovely movie about an alien being channeled by an Earthman called K-Pax.
K-Pax, fucking K-Pax. Oh my god, I remember seeing K-Pax in the theater in college.
I love
It was
that movie.
Kevin Spacey's follow-up to American Beauty, and you just can't top Kevin Spacey in American Beauty. He was just
really
fucking perfect in American Beauty. But K-Pax it's a good movie. It's a good
See,
movie.
I think he's perfect in The Usual Suspects. I'm like, for me,
He's
that's
perfect in that too. Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey, for all his faults, and he has many,
Mm.
is an amazing fucking actor.
Yeah. It's sad what happened because he really fucked himself. He's so good. I loved everything he's in. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's coming up. Other announcements I do not know of because I'm kind of in flux right now, and I'm letting that happen because it'll be fine. And that's what I got.
Wasn't it wild that they them came in the chat, was like, please take the video of our trading down? That was like the wildest start. Like, bless your heart, they them. That's not gonna fucking happen. But like that was like the craziest like thing that could possibly gonna happen.
For like the whole night was just like, okay, this is happening now.
That was fucking awesome, actually. That's like one of my all-time greatest moments. I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna put that all on the internet. It's gonna be great.
With me going, it's okay. I know life is
The
hard.
best part was like, this is a fascist channel. And you're like, excuse me? It's like, okay, she's not I am.
This is our spiritual show.
You're being very rude and inconsiderate of interrupting our spiritual time.
I'm a high priestess. Please, everybody calm down. I don't want to get into this right now. You're in the wrong fucking place. Don't fuck with me either. Like, I'm trying to be nice. Oh my god.
Fucking hilarious. That's like one of the top 10 funniest things that's ever happened on this channel ever.
You're like a fucking cobra. You're like, oh, queer. Like, Jesus. Oh god, she just got that little mouse, didn't you? Christ. That little thing didn't have a chance.
It was the greatest. It was one of the best things that ever happened. I feel so proud of myself and the career decisions I've made in this particular moment.
Oh my god. You're something special, my dear.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Great show. Great show. We'll be back next week. Maybe we'll do another Book of Enoch when Amalek can actually come on and he's like, fuck you with this big tech shit. I'm like, Amalek, can we actually talk to you as a scholar and as someone that understands this? And I promise I won't bring up big tech because I'm not the one obsessed with him. He's obsessed with me. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, there's no obsession for you at all.
All right. Thank you guys. I will be back tomorrow. We'll see you later.
Bye guys.
Bye.